Hey everyone, welcome back. New episode of podcast. Super excited, super crazy episode we have here. As you see, we finally have the two guests I've been waiting for a long time to have. We're finally here. Quick thing to say. My co-host will not be on this episode. She's been very busy with exams and stuff like that. So you'll excuse her for one episode. She'll be back next week. But this episode, very fun episode, as I have probably two most closest people I have for sure, and great people. I'm super excited for you to get to meet them, and then obviously get to know them, and then explore cool topics I hope you guys enjoy. So, obviously, I'm one of your hosts, Brian. Xerona will be next week. Show will come back next week, and then obviously I have two great guests. So, first one here to my left is Mr. Jose, or as we call him, Tress. So, introduce yourself a little bit.
My name's Jose. Yeah, I've known Brian for I don't even know, like
Oof.
more than 5 years. I know for sure.
Oh,
And
I
yeah,
think it's close to almost 10, to be honest.
yeah, I've known
Oh,
you. We've known each
Dang,
other.
it's
the
been that,
long?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Wow, wow.
it's been
It
that
was
long.
since I remember it was since like Bella was a baby when we were playing
Yeah,
pro clubs.
yeah, super long time. And then awesome. So there's Tress or Jose. And then obviously we have Trey, which is almost weird for us to say because we never call him
Oh,
that.
no, right?
Yeah,
To us, his name is Striker, Strike. That's usually what we call him. But here's Trey. So present yourself.
Hi, my name's Trey. I've known y'all. Yeah, it's been about the same for me because
Yeah,
my
we met
oldest son
around
is
the same time.
9. So
Yeah,
it's like 8 or 9 years at least. Yeah.
yeah, dude, that's crazy.
Dang, I didn't realize it's been that long, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, Lee. Yeah, so I've known him for a while then.
Yeah, I've met Brian. I
Mhm.
haven't met Strike yet.
Yeah.
Not in person. Yeah, we
Yeah,
haven't linked up
we got to
yet.
go to Texas because he can't come over here.
I got too many kids. I'm freaking run out of money, bro.
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Too many kids. Well, he keeps having kids. Let's just say, yeah, he keeps having one after the other.
He's the energy bunny,
Yeah,
the
man.
energizer bunny.
Yeah, bro.
All right, but yeah, so uh, there they are, good friends of mine that I've known them, yeah, for almost 10 years. Crazy, but
Dang.
just a quick story. So actually, I met both of them in my younger days when I was in the teenagers, playing pro clubs, FIFA, online games and stuff like that. We met through there, and then we just became super close. Jose was super close by, actually, like 3 hours away in Miami. So went to see him a couple times. We've hanged out, seen his kids. Love the guy, pretty much a brother. And then Trey, obviously, pretty much the same. We just haven't met in person yet because it's so difficult to like travel and such, especially during the beginning when I couldn't even really do that, and then COVID and all that stuff. So it's been kind of difficult to even go around. But yeah, we're super close. We've been pretty much together for all like a whole time.
Yeah.
It's been many years. But yeah. So why don't we get started? And obviously, I know them really well, but wanted to share their stories, share their experiences. I don't want to say the main topic of this episode is going to be family in terms of being a parent and such, since both of them have their own families, kids, and I think I want to explore that because I think that's an interesting topic that um, it's a cool perspective, especially coming from two people I respect a lot and see how they grew up into being like great dads and great people. So I think that's going to be an awesome way to present
I
that.
think Strike should go first, honestly, since he has so many
You go
kids.
first.
He has a
I
long
mean,
line.
it's only fitting that I go first since I'm
Well,
Brian's
since
dad.
you're the oldest, right?
Yeah.
1700s.
Yeah.
I'm
He was born
I'm
in
I'm,
1899.
I'm Brian's daddy anyway, so I should go first. I introduced my first son, Brian.
uh,
More like grandpappy.
oh man. All right. So yeah, let's get
Um,
started with Strike then. So Strike, I mean, obviously we know a little bit about you, but I think it'd be really cool to get to know you a little bit better and maybe start off with, like, where you grew up, how was it growing up, the type of person you are, things like that, to maybe get a little bit sense of like who you are and what you're about.
I had a pretty normal, like normal family life, I think. We didn't have much like growing up. We were pretty poor, but we had everything. Family was mostly everything for us. So
Yeah.
that was me. I'm the youngest out of 5 kids. I have 3 brothers, 1 sister, and have both of my
That makes
parents there.
sense.
Now you
That
see
makes
why I have
sense.
a bunch of kids?
Yeah.
And my wife too, actually. It's the same thing. She's
Oh
Oh,
the
wow.
youngest out of 5 kids.
so it's normal
Yeah,
to you guys.
Yeah.
yeah. It's all like
Like three is not enough.
nah, yeah, man.
So all
But
right, Straight, hold on. But how many kids do you have
I have 3 kids and one,
on the?
and actually like 3 weeks. Supposed to be born 3 weeks.
Oh,
Oh my
wow, nice.
days.
Yeah, bro.
That's
But no
crazy.
more, no more after that. Unless
No
this
más.
this kid
We
was an accident, bro. This was not planned. So,
Yeah. How many times it wasn't planned?
but these last two,
The last two. After one time is not planned. That's all right. The second time, bro, you can't do
yeah,
Uh,
it's all right, man. We love it anyway. We
yeah, of
love
course.
having
No,
kids.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah. But my family life when I was growing up, it's pretty normal. I had both of my parents there. We were 7 people living in a 2-bedroom house. And like growing up now I realize like, man, me and my sister, we slept in the kitchen on a like pull-out couch.
Hmm.
And but we had everything we needed, like
Yeah. No, when is
normal
it when
for
you're
us.
younger, you don't realize it. Like,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, my upbringing was pretty cool. Well, y'all know my personality. I'm chill for the most part. I mean, y'all never hung out with me about a game and I guess talking online, but I'm pretty chill. I'm pretty
he's humble. He's humble until he starts playing FIFA. That's when the cockiness comes out.
I gotta teach my son Brian how to play, bro.
Whatever, man.
Uh,
There you go.
and wait, Strike, were you born in Texas?
Yeah, I was born here in Texas. Yeah,
Never
I was born
left.
here. Yeah, never left. Actually, I was about to move to Florida. I never told y'all.
What?
When I got out of college, I
Uh-huh.
had a job. It's actually in Orlando, Brian. I
Oh,
had a job in Orlando. I was like 20,
That was probably
20.
before Orlando was even built. If he was
yeah.
20 when he had that job opportunity. So long ago.
Before Orlando was even a city.
Yeah.
No, but I had a job at a hospital there, and but I just met my wife, and around that time too, my mama was like, she got cancer, so I was like, I didn't want to leave, and
Yeah.
so I ended up staying, to help take care of my mama, and I met my wife, and now of course I got married to her and everything, so it worked out. I just stayed here for it
Yeah,
actually.
your life would have probably been different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Completely
Oh,
Very
for
different.
sure.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have probably had like 12 babies with 50 different
Baby
Latino
mamas.
mommies in Orlando.
Puerto Rican girls in Orlando, dog. That's all there is. Uh,
Oh man. Totally.
But
Uh,
yeah, that's it. Any other questions, Brian? Like,
um, I guess since we're all like young, you kind of don't really like uh think about it too much since it's like before. But how was it like in terms of going to school and then like maybe your environment in terms of what did you want to like become in the future? Was that something that like inspired you to maybe be able to help out or do something that's more out there than maybe you could think of before? Like, was that something that like affected you, like your childhood in terms of like that and how you kind of grew up? Was it something that you made you want to like do
yeah,
something? Okay.
yeah. I mean, so like my dad, I remember I was like, he did construction work for most of my life, but he started going to college. I was like 12 or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. He would go to night college.
Yeah.
And so he worked and he did a lot. He did a lot. But he always told me, he's like, Trey, like you need to find out what you want to do so you can take care of your family. Like,
Mhm.
go learn a trade. He said, I'm not telling you to go to like a 4-year college. Go learn a trade. Go learn something so you can, so you can take care of your family. And so I just did a little like, all I went to was like a little technical school or whatever so I could learn something just so I could get my foot in the door somewhere. And
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not doing anything even related to it, but
Yeah, that's what my next question is. Like, when you graduated for your at college, is
no,
it what you're? Because like when you're young, you're going to college. You think you know what you want until
right.
like you're doing it. Because
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no.
personally I never went to college, but like I hear a lot of people say they switch their majors or whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
bro.
that's what I want to ask Brian too. Did you stick with what international business?
Nah, so funny enough for me, I actually didn't know what I wanted to be when I first entered college. There was a couple things like in my mind, I would say. I thought like teaching would be kind of cool, teaching a certain subject, like being a
Mm-hmm.
either university students or like maybe even like younger kids. I thought that was gonna be pretty cool. But then things kind of changed for me close to like almost finishing my associates because I did my associates first. That's when things really changed for me in terms of like what I wanted because I took a study abroad trip and that kind of like opened my eyes of like,
Changed,
what I
yeah, it
wanted.
changed what you, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It like completely like opened the door of like, okay, I actually figured out what I actually want to do. And like you said, like, yeah, I know tons of people and everyone, I think, in university kind of goes through that. Like, they're doing something, they kind of enjoy it, and then they kind of like, oh, maybe this isn't what I want. And then they change, and then more people change a lot. So it's actually a pretty interesting
Mm-hmm.
conversation about that, you know?
Yeah, because with Trey, I wouldn't think there's like a college for male strippers or something unless unless there is. You tell me, because isn't that what you do? Strike.
Good. Yeah, baby. So that's why I'm making the big bucks, baby. You feel me?
That's what. Hey, that's why you got all them kids in the big ass house, huh?
Ah,
uh, but what do you do for a living, Strike?
yeah.
So my actual like job title is I'm an IT systems analyst,
Mm-hmm.
and like this company that I work with. So I work at an insurance company. I started there as soon as I got out of college, but doing something totally unrelated. Like I was just trying to make money to
Yeah,
live.
just you put your foot
Yeah.
in, started
Yeah.
off.
So I started in the file room, and I was literally like shredding paper all
Mm-hmm.
day, and like just taking out trash. I was just doing whatever, working for minimum wage.
Yeah.
And that company has tons of jobs. So I would just hop from job to job, and I would just go look for any job
That was paying
that I
more
could
than
get.
we,
Yes, exactly. Just
of
to make
course.
more money. And I
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
switched jobs probably like 6, 7 times. Then I got into the help desk.
Yeah.
Was working on a program, like we're all over the US and Canada and different places.
Mhm.
And we have offices all throughout the US. So like we sell life insurance. So these agents, they sell this life insurance on their personal laptop, and we make the program for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I work on, that specific program.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, they're always gonna need you. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like nonstop stuff,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they always want changes. It's always like
Yeah.
compliance stuff
Update. Yeah,
update.
of course.
So that's what I work on. So I learned the program pretty good when I was at the help desk. I learned how to fix it. I learned how to fix people's computers, all this. So now I'm on the other side of it, of like like actually putting in the updates, testing
Mm-hmm.
it, doing
Yeah.
all that kind of
Then
stuff.
you turn
So
off your computer and turn it back on.
that's always the first thing we say. Well, first of all, let's
Hey,
reboot your
bro,
computer.
it fixes it, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah, yeah, it
it
does.
works.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay. Uh, okay. Then do you want to maybe do this as well, like Tress, and then we'll start going into like the topic of like family and
Oh yeah,
then
well,
like,
what like me start?
yeah, yeah.
Well, I was born in New York. I have two other brothers, well, a brother and a sister. We all grew up pretty close, until like I was 9 years old. Then my mom went to jail for like 4 years. Then we moved down. That's when we moved down here to Florida. And we were kind of like living with like, my aunts and uncles and different family members because we were all young. I was like 9. My brother was like what? He's I think 4 years older than me. And then my sister is 7 or 8 years older than me. So we're all pretty young. And then yeah, we just until my sister turned 18, we're kind of hopping family to family, different aunts and uncles. And then when she turned 18, she got a place for us, like all of us to live together. And we're always close. Like I even growing up, I would consider my sister as my mom because she would take care of me. She'll do everything for me, whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
And then kind of like growing up, my brother and my sister would always work like all day, so I'd be home alone and like basically did whatever I wanted because there's nobody be home until like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. So then, I got into, hanging out with the wrong crowd and all that stupid things. And then eventually, like when my mom got out of jail, she got deported to Colombia, back to Colombia where she's from. And they after like yeah, I think I was like 12 or 13. Um they couldn't like they're like, all right, Jose's getting into too much trouble. They sent me to Colombia to go live with my mom to straighten out. And then say, oh, in Colombia you're gonna do more drugs, there's more this, there's more that. And then when I moved over there, like I knew Spanish, like I knew how to like speak it. I didn't know how to read or write. Like I knew how to speak it, but nothing like, a full like
Cool.
conversation.
Yeah.
So when I went over there, it was kind of rough in the beginning. And yeah, just I had to learn how to like I after like a year, I caught on pretty quickly with the Spanish,
Mhm.
but I still couldn't read or write. It was kind of hard. And I was going to like a private school over there. And then but it was like a supposedly a bilingual, but there was nothing bilingual in there. It was just advanced English. So of course, when I was going into biology class or social studies or all that, it was all in Spanish. So I could understand what they're saying, but I could not write anything or read. And then so yeah, basically on and off. I came back here after I came back to the United States from Colombia after like a year or two over there. I think 2 years. 2 or 3 years. And I tried to come back here, and I just like over here, I didn't have I had friends in Colombia. I had a life over there. It was so much fun, you know. Over here, just everybody just it was really boring. And the same thing. I moved in with my sister, and then she would just work all day, so I'd be home
Yeah.
doing nothing. And eventually, like I moved back to Colombia, and then I remember the day that I went for winter break. Um, and it was the last day that I had to come back from Colombia to the United States. And then I was crying to my mom. I'm like, Ma, please, I don't want to go, like at all. Like I want to stay. I have friends here. I'll go to school. I'll learn how to do everything. And at first, like she's like, all right, let me call your sister. Let's see what we could do. And I'm like, yeah, there's a hope. Let's see. And then eventually she's like, yeah, you can stay, but the next day you're gonna start school. And I didn't care. All I heard is you could stay, and I'm fucking jumping and like, yeah, I'm telling my friends I'm fucking staying. And then yeah, dude. And then the next morning, my mom woke me up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get ready for school. She already had enrolled me the first that same day that she told me, yeah, you're gonna stay. I was already enrolled the next day. And then that's when I kind of realized, all right, I gotta step it up and learn how to write
Mhm.
and learn how to read. So um yeah, I ended up graduating in Columbia. And then when I decided, like, well, I didn't want to go to college, but you know how parents are. You got to go to college. There's no good colleges here in Colombia, and so I think you should go back to the United States and go to college. And then when I came back, um, I wanted to do web design, so I went to the Art Institute, did the whole tour. I'm like, this is amazing. This is beautiful. I want to do it. Sign me up. Until I went to the financial aid, and they told me how much it was. That's when I'm like, no, I don't want it. I don't want it at all. They're like, it was like, it's just the first semester is only $52,000. I know it's the same price as a Mercedes, but by the time you're done, you're gonna have a job, and we help you out with a job. And that was during the recession when everybody was graduating,
Yeah,
and nobody
Wow.
was getting
finding
jobs.
jobs. Yeah.
So I'm like, this lady's lying straight to my face. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is not gonna happen. So I told because my brother was in the art institute. So
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go to school with him. He's gonna be awesome. And then when I saw how much it cost, I'm like, no, I'm good. And then
Dang.
um, yeah, I started working. I'm like, fuck it, let me just start working. Started working at the mall. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Working at Brookstone, it was at first I thought it was amazing because all the gets and gadgets. It's like the sharper image.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought, but then after, like, it gets old real quick. And then they're like, oh, you have to sell this and then push this and talk to the customer like this. And eventually, I got a job at where I'm working now. I got a job at Tootsie's, and I started off like a strike. I started off from the bottom. I started off as a sweeper, and then I just worked my way up. And then what, like 12 years later, I'm a bartender. Been there for a long time. Love it. It's a great place to be. There's always something to do, something to see.
You just look at titties all day.
And that's funny. The funny thing is that, like, once you're there for so long, it gets normal. Not that, like, oh, I don't want to
Yeah.
see titties, but it gets normal that I'll watch anything but that. Like, I'd rather watch what's going on TV or
Yeah.
talk to my coworker. And of course, when I first started there, I was like, my eyes would not, I would not blink. I did not want to miss a thing. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to do this every day. And they pay me to do this. And it was hard work, but still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
nobody has the pleasure of, it has its pros and cons, but honestly,
Mhm.
It's just
I
like
don't
it
mind.
just becomes normal since it's your everyday job, right?
Yeah,
It's not
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
anything so
Exactly.
special about it. Yeah.
So as the time that you're talking about like growing up and kind of being home alone and figuring yourself out, did that time how was that feeling like in terms of what did you feel then, and then did that affect you in a way of like maybe how your personality was, or
Well,
like
at
made you
first,
become who you was?
yeah, well, no, like at first, when I was younger, I was very shy. Like, I would not be here right now talking to you guys on fucking camera at all. I'll be like, nope, I'm good. Let me turn off the camera, and then I'll be talking like really low and, like, you know what I mean? I was really shy. I couldn't answer the phone. I couldn't put in an order like through the drive-through. Not for me.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Well,
I was really shy. I wouldn't go, like, it would be like people would think I would be rude because I wouldn't say hi to you, but it was just I was so shy that I didn't know
yeah,
how to go up to somebody and say hi. Like, just
yeah,
the hi or bye. They're like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? You
yeah,
know what I mean? And then when I lived in Colombia, it kind of like that, everybody's like social. Like, they'll,
mm-hmm.
like, how Spanish culture is. Like, even if they don't know you, they'll go up to you and say hi with a kiss,
Yeah,
and a hug. You know what I mean? So when I, like, in Colombia, like, and then that, like, there, it's very rude if you don't say hi, and they'll call you out. It won't be like, oh, like, what's wrong with this guy? They'll tell you up front, hey, bro, what the fuck? You didn't say hi to
yeah.
me. Like, what I do, sleep with your sister or something? Like, they'll say some stupid shit. And so,
Yeah.
like, so then, so yeah, like, Colombia, like, it kind of opened. And playing soccer too, when I played soccer in Colombia, that opened a lot because you have to communicate with your teammates and stuff like that.
Mm,
So, but like, even after that, I was still shy. Like, if it was like somebody that I met like new, I would be like completely. But then, yeah, but, like, eventually when you start to get to know people, you open up. But yeah,
yeah,
like, the initial thing, it was still like, still to this day is very, sometimes it's tough. But like my job now, like being a bartender, I can't do that.
yeah, yeah,
I can't be a shy. There's no shy
yeah,
bartender.
You have to
You
make
gotta
your money
be.
that way. Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to
exactly.
make
You
some
gotta
money.
be.
Yeah.
You gotta be. Like, you gotta be positive. You gotta be.
up front.
With confidence, and, like, always like a sure, like you're sure of everything. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like, there's a lot of, like, like when I first started bartending, that was the first thing they told me. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't know how to make a drink, just be confident enough that you'll sell it to them, that they'll believe it's the drink that it is. Because most of the people don't know what they're drinking. They don't
Mm-hmm.
know what it is. They just say, "Hey, I like that pretty drink. Make it for me." You know what I mean? So it's like when I, I'm helping out other bartenders or people that are working their way up. That's the thing I tell them. Hey, always be confident, because then like that also, like when somebody goes to get a drink and they don't see somebody that's confident, they don't want the drink from that person. You know what I mean? Like, this guy doesn't even believe in himself. Why is he gonna make? He's not gonna make me a good drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of also, like, I had to, like, open up, and like, so now I feel like, I'm not. I still get shy. You still get, a little timid, but more, it's like I'm more out there. Like, you guys know,
Yeah.
I'm always talking shit. I'm always cracking jokes. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
No,
But yeah,
yeah,
like
that's
when I was
awesome.
younger, it was very different, dude. Like, I like from like, if I see, like, I would never thought, like, I'll do this, or even bartender. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought growing up, like, nobody says like, "Oh, I want to be a bartender when I grow up." You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
always like a stepping stone. But honestly, I like it. It's fun. I make decent money. It helps me support my kids
Yeah.
Yeah,
and my
and then
family.
you done well, dude, because you supporting your kids and your family. You have been able to
Yeah,
help other people too. I remember you telling me too. Yeah, that's you're doing good, man.
yeah, I
Yeah.
can't complain.
And wanted to talk a little bit about actually that cool thing that you were talking about, like going to Colombia and how that like changed, because that's actually something that also kind of affected me in the same way. So
Mm-hmm.
because in the story you were talking, you said that like you would go, then it would be so different, but then when you came, people would be like weird, right? And I actually had
Yeah,
the same thing where it's like in our culture, Colombian culture at least, there's always this essence of family and people outside talking, doing something, right?
yeah,
But when you get here to the States, people are like quiet to themselves. People are home.
yeah.
They're not,
Like, fuck off.
you
I
don't
don't
see people
care.
out
Let me
really.
do me.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah, yeah.
know, I'm
But
gonna do
so
me. You
like
do you.
I wanted you to maybe just maybe touch up that little aspect of like culture, because I think that's also something that's unique to like not
No,
only
yeah,
our culture but like
Colombian culture is
different.
very beautiful. They're very friendly. Obviously, everywhere there's gonna be douchebags, no matter
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you go. But most of the time, they're very helpful. They're very, they'll tell you things straight up. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, even like, I still have friends over there that I consider my family. Like,
hmm,
growing up, you always look out for each other. And like when we were growing up, like, I lived in Colombia. I was considered the El Gringo, the American kid,
yeah,
but I never really had money like that. I was never really rich. When I was younger, when living with my mom, yeah, we did have a comfortable life, but after that, it was a complete 180. You know what I mean? So
mm,
even when I lived in Colombia, we lived good. It wasn't like I was struggling, but it wasn't like I was balling out.
mm.
A lot of people thought just because I was American, I had tons of money. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm catching the bus just like you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, the culture there is, I love it. Like, I eventually want to, move there, retire, or have something that I could have, like, a company that I don't have to be there for every time or every day, that I could just check up on every couple months. Because, like, even my girlfriend right now, we went twice last year, I believe.
yeah,
Or no, we went last year and then this year. And
yeah,
she loved it. She's not even from there, and she loved it. She's like, I want to go again. The next trip, obviously, is trying to take the kids with me, because right now it's kind of tough with the baby mama drama. But but yeah, like, I want my kids to experience that what I experienced. Like, it's so different.
yeah,
Everybody getting along with each other, kids playing, like, you don't see kids playing like that anymore.
yeah,
It's very different. Over here, it's like, oh, there's no, somebody's gonna do somebody's gonna kidnap you, or
Yeah,
this
yeah,
and this and that. Over there, like, it was just like, go have fun, go crazy, but just come back home and eat.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. No, yeah, and like a dude, like being like there's things like such as like, oh, you're part of that street. Like people know you from that street and you know everyone.
Oh no,
All the
yeah,
parents, all the
like
kids,
like
everyone,
people
you know,
don't
like
leave. Like, it's
everything.
not like here, like, Here is very different because like the renting situation, they'll bring up your rent
Mhm.
until you leave, and then they'll have somebody else come in.
Yeah,
But like over there, like everybody still lives almost the same or in the same area. They
yeah,
don't
yeah.
really leave that much. It's obviously there's people that do leave, but it's nothing like that crazy. Like I have a friend there still. He lives across the street from me. He hasn't left.
Yeah.
You know,
No, yeah, same. Like my grandpa's house. Every time I went to Colombia, stayed there. Literally, like
the same
I
house.
know
They don't.
so many people from the street still live there. Like
Yeah,
20 years, like I know somebody there's been like 50, 60 years. Like it's crazy. Like Colombia's such a different environment. And like you said,
yeah,
I wish there was more because like obviously you see like a lot of awesome things coming from there, but I wish there was more shine from it, more like people knowing what actually is like Colombian culture.
yeah.
So
The
it's
thing
super
is that
nice to hear it, you know.
I think the news plays a big part of the
For
of
sure.
the
Yeah.
like they're always, of course, they're always going to show the negative stuff on the news. They're never going to show, hey, look, we're doing this festival and look how many people showed up, and look, there's no problem. They're going to show what the bad parts are, you know what I mean? And like I have a lot of customers at my job that go to Colombia, and at first they're like, no, no, I'm scared to go, or
Hmm.
is it that bad, Jose? I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, it's not bad at all. He's like, oh no, but you're from there, so they're not gonna fuck with you. I'm like, no, bro, I'm telling you, like, you go there, they're gonna appreciate you. They're gonna
Hmm.
like that you. They're gonna love that you go there. They're not gonna
Yeah,
be like, hey, you stupid American. They're gonna love that you're there. They're gonna, it's. And then when they do go, they're like, I can't wait to go
I
back.
love it. Yeah, yeah,
Like, Jose, come on, let's go, come with me. There's been people that told me, it's like, I'll pay for your ticket. Just show me around where you're from. I just want to learn. I just want to see more. I'm like, dude, I'm like, if I was single and no kids, it'll be so, like, I'll be down in a heartbeat. I'll take off. We're out. But it's, I got kids and stuff, dude. I
yeah.
can't
Got
just
family.
drop everything and be like, yeah, I'll be back in 3 days.
See,
Yeah,
that's what I think too, because like for me, I've never been to Colombia. So only thing that I know of Colombia is from what I heard from y'all,
yeah,
which
Hmm.
is completely different from what you see on TV. Because they
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
highlight all of the negative, like the drug cartel, like
the
like
gorillas and all that.
the
Yeah.
premise of what they do and stuff. You don't hear about like the culture, like you
Hmm.
said, the festival, the dancing, the partying, like that kind of stuff
Yeah,
of people having a good time.
no, yeah, like especially in this time of year, like in December,
Oh, December
dude, they'll shut the whole block down.
Salsa Festival, man.
They'll
Mhm.
literally what they'll do is it's not like they're like, oh, we're gonna get permission. Well, back in the day, now it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more modernized. But when I was growing up over there, they'll the people in the neighborhood, they'll close down the streets,
Yeah, yeah,
and then they'll block it off, and it's a big block party
yeah,
all almost
Dang.
every other day, dude. And
Yeah.
everybody's doing something different. Like today, this family's cooking. Tomorrow, this family's gonna cook.
yeah.
Then we're gonna do this, every day it was something different, and everybody's just getting along, having a great time. All it was fun. It's like the best. I think the best time of year to go to Colombia is December
This one, yeah, for sure.
because you get to see everybody. Like they just like they forget about their problems. Like here, I feel like in the United States, a lot of people carry their problems with them
Yeah.
everywhere. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? We're all struggling. Everybody has problems. Everybody has, but like in Colombia, people like when we'll go out when I was like 18, we'll go out and party. Like there's times that we didn't have no money to go to clubs or do this, but they're like, hey, bro, let's just hang out, buy a couple
Yeah,
beers, talk
Right.
shit for a little bit, like what we're doing now. So,
yeah.
and then, but like here, you try to say that, and you're like, nah, bro, I ain't got no money to go out, and like you know what I
For real.
mean?
Yeah, that's
I can't
right.
go out. I got no money. And then or like there'll be a lot of times that, let's say Brian don't got money to go out. And he's like, nah, I don't got it. I'll be like, no, fuck it. Me and Strike will get it for you. We'll look out and then just, look out whenever you got us. Here there is some of that. I'm not saying there isn't,
Yeah.
but it's a lot harder. You know what I mean?
It just doesn't feel part of the culture.
Yeah.
Like it's not there. It just doesn't. You don't feel it as
And
much.
the people that do that, they're not American. They grew
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
you know what I
So
mean?
for sure.
Different
Yeah.
cultures. Because then it's funny because whenever I go out and like when I'm serving a group of people that come up, and then I can already tell who's gonna be like separate checks or who's gonna be like, nah, it don't matter. Well, I'll pay this round, you just pay the next one. It's kind of messed up that you can tell the difference, but most of the time I could know who's gonna do separate checks and who's gonna do, and it's like one drink. Like I understand if it's a whole, I understand if you're having a whole meal and whole feast, you're there for an hour, 2 hours, you had food, drinks, appetizers. Okay, that's understandable. You're gonna do separate. But when they go, oh, let me get 3 Coronas separate each. Just do 3.
Yeah.
I'll do 3 the first time. Brian, you got the
Yeah.
next 3.
Yeah.
And Strike, you buy 6 for us.
No.
So Trey, you think like you're able to tell that just by like I don't want to make it like a race thing, but you can kind of tell
Yeah,
by
exactly. I don't want to make it a race thing, but you kind of could tell.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie, like in my job, there's a lot of African American customers, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I love them. They're great. Some like a lot of the um not people on my job, but a lot of people think, oh, they're cheap, they're
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
they're that, they're gonna ask for a refund, they're gonna ask for and don't get me wrong, there's always people that
There's
ask
always
that
somebody gonna do
complain.
that.
Nobody could you can't please everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
Like to one person, I could be the best bartender in the world, and to the person right next to you, I could be the worst because
Mhm.
I can't please everybody. So
Right.
there's always
Right.
going to be that, but I'm not going to lie. Most of my customers are black, and I think they're great. I wouldn't change it for the world, and because they're straight up,
Yeah.
they're
So
straight up.
I will tell you too, like in my household, my dad was white, my mama was black, so I had
Hmm.
I got to experience a little bit of everything,
Yeah.
like and like on the black side of my family, like just give a little insight into it, like most like my family and my mama, she was raised in the projects. Like that's
Hmm.
where all of my family was. They lived in the projects here, like the Section 8 housing.
Yeah.
So they don't, they're raised with nothing. So when they get something, you know what I'm saying? They try to like hold on to it.
Hmm.
Like I can see that with my family. And like my dad, I told you he was going to college and he started working and making a little bit more money. So when I was a teenager, when I got to be like 16, 17, we were like not poor anymore. My brothers had moved out. And so it was just me and my sister, and he got a better job. And so we were fine then. We were
Yeah.
like, wasn't rich,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
But yeah,
we
you're
weren't
stable.
struggling either.
You're good.
Yeah, yeah, we're stable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I could see with my mama, like, she was used to having nothing, and now she had stuff, and she was just like, I could tell she was just like happy, like she could like buy stuff she wanted, like
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
get a
Yeah.
new like get a new like diamond ring that she wanted, and she was happy about it. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, she would try. She was the same way. She would, bro. She would literally pinch a penny until it couldn't be pinched anymore. Like, but she worked as a waitress too, and she always taught me, all of us. She said, if you don't have enough money to tip, you don't got enough money to go out to eat.
Yeah,
Like,
don't go out. That's
Yeah.
yeah,
that's my rule, bro. If
and like,
stay home.
yeah, you gotta stay home if you don't have enough money
Hey,
to
if
tip.
you don't have money to tip, which it is kind of messed up in the industry that we have to rely on, that everybody has to rely on somebody, on the other person to get a tip from
Conscious
them.
Yeah,
of people to like give. Yeah.
But
yeah,
it is kind of what it's the common thing in the United States, because I was a server also in Colombia, and in Colombia I get paid as a regular person. I don't get paid less because I'm a server and I
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
tips. You know what I mean? So when I lived in Colombia, I was a server. I worked in a restaurant in a like a it's kind of like a national park. It was kind of like a national park and a theme park. So I would serve there, and then I'll tell you the biggest tip I ever got there was 750 pesos. It's like it's 75 cents basically less. And if you convert it, but and then they told me, "Oh, you're the best server I ever had. Thank you so much." This and then they're like they're here and they give me 3 coins. And you know what I mean? And I'm like, but the thing is that it wasn't like I'm like, oh fuck you guys, if it was here, I'll be
yeah,
like, what the I'm like, you need it more than me, buddy. Here, keep it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But over
yeah,
there, since when I get off my shift, I'm getting paid $200.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
different
So
scenario.
it's not like I'm getting paid garbage like here. Like my
Yeah,
paycheck here is sometimes nothing when they take out taxes and like tips and all that. But over there is completely different.
Yeah.
Over there, everybody gets paid the same. So that's why in like cultures like in like South America or even in Europe or Japan, they don't believe in tipping because
yeah,
everybody gets paid not equal, but it's not like here that just because you serve food and you get tips, we're gonna lower everything else you
yeah,
get
yeah.
just because you know what I mean?
Yeah, I thought that was always trash, bro. Like
I,
paying people like $3 or $4 an hour
yeah,
just because of service.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It
And
should be
then
an
especially
incentive.
when they do the tips and they just split it out amongst the team,
Uh-huh.
like that's not right either. Because
Yeah.
I've been to places where I got like excellent service. I
And
leave them like a $30 tip or whatever, and
yeah,
I
and then
don't want this other guy that's not nice to get it. Like I want this
yeah,
person to
Yeah,
get it. Like they gave me
yeah,
the
believe me,
great service.
it happens a lot at my job there because we split tips. So they're like, "Yo, is this yours?" And most of the time, like the people I work with, don't get me wrong, I like I don't mind. I like working with them. So if you're a hard worker, I don't mind splitting the tips with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't. I'll be like, most of the time because the thing is like let's say you strike, you're gonna give me a $30 tip, and you're like, oh, is that go to you or to both of y'all? And I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna say it goes to me. So if I say it goes to both of us, like, oh, then I'm not gonna, I don't want to give the tip to you. Then
Right, right,
Mhm.
you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
So a lot of times I just say, this is for me. I got you. I'll put it in my pocket, and then eventually I'll just pull it back out and just when they leave, and I'll put it in the bucket.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. It's my washer going crazy back there.
I don't hear anything, honestly.
Nah, me either.
Oh yeah.
You're
Oh,
good.
okay.
No,
Nah,
that's probably you probably like lock your wife in the closet and you're telling me it's the washer. Trey, let
Oh
me
no.
out. Let me out. And you're like, that's the washer, my bad guy.
all right, guys. So, yeah. So we talked a little bit about Colombian culture and stuff like that. And obviously, I think, yeah, media in terms of like what people are seeing nowadays, especially with all those shows, crime shows and things. I think people get that stigma, so it's kind of
Yeah.
it's cool to be able to share like what actually is Colombian culture, and hopefully, obviously, more people get to do it and experience it because I
Oh
think
no, yeah,
people love it
definitely.
for sure. And then obviously, we
Yeah.
talked a little bit about service industry and how that is here and compared to everywhere else, which is totally mind boggling in terms of like how it is here in terms of like like paying them super less, like nothing pretty much, and just depending on tips while they're doing pretty much as much work because you're dealing with so many different people that could literally be great people or could just be like just garbage people and then treat you
Yeah.
like horribly for like nothing. So there's so many different aspects to that, but let's maybe switch a little bit or go into our topic a little bit. Wanted to reach out to you guys specifically because both of you are great friends, but you're dads, you have families of your own, and I kind of wanted to reach out and talk to you guys about that and how that obviously, I mean, it changes everything. It changes like that moment in time, and obviously how you are as a person. That it's going to change. So maybe start off with strike a little bit of like uh when did maybe let's start with the ideal family in terms of obviously growing up dealing with things, but when you got to like university, was there ever the idea of like having a family of your own, kids, and how that turned into, or like how you met your wife and things like that, and how it turned into your family now?
That was a really long question, and I don't remember everything you said. No, but and Trey's over there pumping on that hookah, boy. No, yeah. So like when I was younger, bro, I never was like, yeah, I want kids. Like I didn't even
Yeah,
think about
same,
that
dude.
stuff.
Like, I remember when I was growing up, I'm like, I don't want kids. At least I want to enjoy my life. You're having such a good time. You don't want to,
Yeah,
ruin it. Not ruin it, but
yeah,
once you have kids, obviously you have to be
Your life changes
responsible.
completely.
Yeah, you
yeah.
have to be responsible. You know.
The- yeah, bro. I used to go out and stay out to 3 or 4 in the morning, do all of that stuff. But like it's beauty in the different parts of life. I think like I did all of that stuff, and stay with my friends and party and whatever. But like I enjoy this now. Like I'm more
Yeah,
settled. It's fun.
different. It's
Yeah,
hard
it's a
to
different type
explain.
of joy. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's hard to explain. Like I don't get me wrong, like I like to go out. I still go out from time to time, but
yeah,
there's times that I'm like, fuck it. I just want to sit chill with my kids, dude, and
right.
hang
Yeah,
out with
yeah,
them and like, see what they got going on. Like
yeah.
there are a lot of times a lot more interesting than a lot of people in my life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They are more interested than a lot of
Yeah.
people, because like this is a big thing too for me. Is like I notice my sons especially. They're like literally watching what I'm doing,
Hmm. Hmm.
and they will like mimic me.
Yeah. And
And
it's
so I'm like I always got that in the back of my mind now. Like what I'm doing right now, they, like, of course, obviously, I don't want them to be a freaking crack addict or anything like that. So I'm like, anything that I do, like I'm always thinking like they see me, is this okay? Like, is this good?
yeah.
Like I don't want to influence them in a bad way. I want them to have good memories of me, like
Uh-huh.
when I'm already old, but according to y'all. But no, like when I'm old and stuff,
Definitely cold
I want
already,
them
dude.
I want to, just the FYI to Brian's 12 followers. I'm only 38 years old, bro. I'm not that
Only
old.
38.
Plus 26.
Trey, what are you like 30 something? 32?
I'm 33, yeah.
33. Okay, yeah. So
So
it's not that much.
Strike, what age did you have your first kid?
Yeah.
My first kid, I was 28.
Oh, my
28,
age.
yeah. 29, 28, 29. Because
Oh,
like I met my wife, we were pretty young, and I knew she was the one. Like she was there with me through all of that stuff with my mama.
Ride or die.
Like, my mama, she got cancer, and that like takes a toll on you, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Oh
Like,
yeah,
for
of
sure, for sure.
course. Definitely.
and then throughout that time, she was there with me. She's checking on me. She was there, and so like she proved to be like, kind of like a ride or die. And I didn't have,
Definitely ride or die. That sounds like a ride or die to me.
yeah, dude, I didn't have nothing either. So I know she didn't want me
Yeah.
for anything material. I was so poor, bro. Like I could not even like going to the grocery store. The only thing that I would buy was bread and a package of ham, and that's it. That's all I could get.
No mayo, dog. Come
No
on.
mayo, nothing. I got mustard for one of my friends. He's like, "Yeah,
Uh,
bro, here,
Got mustard for one of my friends.
hey man, like you got." And that was for a while.
Yeah.
I had to do that,
no, yeah, you gotta. There's times you gotta
but
struggle.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
yeah, yeah.
For sure.
And I'm not one to go like I'm very like I'm pretty well, y'all see me on the game, but the person I am now I haven't always been. I was like you, Trez. I used to be really shy and like really introverted, like but like
Hmm.
around my boys I would cut up more. But like
Yeah,
around a group of people, I was just like pretty quiet and like I kind of like sank back into the crowd.
yeah.
But dude, and so I would tell nobody. I would tell nobody nothing. My own dad, he didn't even know. I would just try to deal with it myself,
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm the same way. I would rather like
yeah.
my brother and my sister, they're always there to help me out. They've always been there to help me out. And then they'll ask, "Oh, why didn't you ask me for help?" And like I kind of feel like growing up, because since I'm the youngest out of the three, like growing up, I was always the one that needed help, or they needed to look for me or look out for me or do this for me because I was too young and
Yeah,
this and that. So when I got older, I kind of like didn't want that anymore. You know what I mean? I wanted to like prove myself. And it does make you a stronger person. I could have easily asked my brother or my
yeah.
sister for help, and they would have dropped everything they're doing and helped me out.
Right,
But I
right.
kind of want you kind of want to accomplish that by yourself too, and show that you got it, show you can make it. And luckily I
Exactly.
did. I mean, don't get me wrong, my brother and my sister did. They still to this day help me out, with my kids and stuff like that. But yeah, most,
But that
I
kind of
was
stuff, that's what family does, bro. Like what
yeah, of
Yeah.
like
course.
that, hey, you want to watch the kids for a few hours while I go to the
Uh-huh.
yeah, like stuff like that. But like when it comes down to like I hate asking people to borrow money or
Yeah,
to
me too.
for like
I'd rather fucking
I yeah, I just go without, you know,
uh-huh.
for
Yeah,
me. That's how I would do. I would go
Yeah.
without to not try to put people in a bad place, you know. So
No, and no, yeah, because when I had I was what 22, 20, I think 22 going on 23 when I had my daughter. And
yeah.
and then when I had her, I was still like I was not that I was making good money, but then the mother of the kids wasn't working, so I had to pay all the bills and get the diapers and this and that. So there's times that, bro, I had no money. I'll put money in the bank account and then I'll be negative the next day.
Dang.
And then what I mean, like, and luckily what I worked is I was getting mostly cash, and
Tax
so
free, baby.
hey, you can't say that too loud, dog.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? So I
Mm.
remember there was a time that I had a coworker of mine, like he's like, hey, look, I know you just had a kid, so if you ever need money, let me know. And there's been a couple times that I asked him, hey, let me borrow $500 and I'll pay you as soon as I can. And and he would never be like where's my money, or it wasn't
Yeah,
like I tried to ignore him because he let me borrow the money. I'll try to pay him back as fast as I can. But
Yeah,
that did kind of help a lot too sometimes, because it kind of be a relief. I'm like, all right, I could pay
for
this
sure.
bill, or I could get formula, because that formula is fucking expensive, dude.
yeah, man. That's why I gotta breastfeed all of them, bro.
Yeah.
If they
No,
if they can, if they
no, yeah,
can, you know.
my baby mama didn't breastfeed for any of the kids. Like it
Nah,
was
bro.
like literally for the first month, I think. And after that was formula. So you already know how much that was.
Oof.
Bro, that's expensive, bro.
No,
That
dude.
is like crazy.
There'll be times that I'll get a thing of formula, and literally 2 days later she's like, "Oh, on your way home, can you get formula?" I'm like, "Dude, what do you mean? I just bought formula like yesterday." It's like, We're out. You need more." I'm like, "No, please, no. This can't be real."
That yeah, that stuff is crazy expensive, especially
But
now too.
yeah, but
Oh
luckily,
yeah,
yeah, made it out. I'm not with the mother's kids anymore, but I met somebody that, like, for me, she's like a ride or die, like, Striker's wife. I wouldn't be surprised if I married her. She was with, we met when I was kind of like the end of my, when I was with my baby mama. Very ugly. I was, depressed. I was not happy with my life. It was, very toxic. And, like anybody else would have been like, this kid just has a crazy fucking ex-girlfriend, has two kids, and has is taking care of also, like, because I would take care of my ex's little sister. So I'm like, so it's like all this baggage, and not that I didn't have money, but I had what to pay the bills, and that's it. you know
Yeah, yeah,
and same thing, like, she didn't care about that. She could have been like, nah, fuck this guy, let me go, let me find somebody that's, you know has time for me and stuff like that. But she helped me out a lot too, dude, and she's my ride or die, honestly.
so
yeah.
And
let's
she helps out with the
actually
kids.
let's actually dive into that. So I would say, since you guys are family men, obviously that includes a specific someone and like someone that you have now. Um, talk about like not only as like the
What
people that are
position?
with you, right? But obviously the people that are going to be with your kids and such. So for Striker at least, oh my gosh, this guy. And then Striker at least, like, how was it? Like, obviously you said you met your wife young, and like now you're like obviously parents with your like your kids, but what is that feeling of having someone like with you there the whole time that you can like grow up, with, and then spending time with the kids growing up and all that? So how is that, feeling of having someone that's going to be there for now on, for always?
Yeah. Yeah, like for me, that showed me like who she truly was, you know what I'm saying? Like when because I didn't have literally I had literally nothing materially. And as I was going through all that stuff with my mama, she came here. She lived in a town that's like it's about 45 minutes away,
Yeah.
almost about an hour away from me. So she would come here every day and driving. And that takes a lot, like working and doing all that stuff. And so she really showed me from her heart, like who she truly was, I think. And so we started dating and stuff, and we ended up getting married. And we stayed married 7 years before we had any kids. At first we didn't want any kids.
Mm.
But like us, we both from big families, and then of course as time just naturally progresses, like man, like
Now you got fucking 4
I
almost.
got my old clan, bro. I got
Yeah,
my
you
back.
gotta you got the whole squad.
He's got his own backline, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, we've grown up together. Like like when it was just us, we did literally everything you could possibly do.
Yeah.
Mm.
On our vacations, we go out and party and do stuff together. We did whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
And now we did everything we wanted. So when we had kids, we
Yeah, you
pretty
guys were
much got
ready.
it all
You
out
guys
of
were
our
like
system.
settled, right? We had our fun.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
now get serious about it.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's not just
and then
me
I
and you
think,
anymore.
and I think too, we kind of started late too, having kids a little late because
Hmm.
we didn't want them at first. We didn't want
Yeah.
kids,
Well, yeah, 7 years
and
into a marriage, and then
yeah,
so how long you guys been
especially,
together now? Well, no, yeah, what, 17, but
yeah, that's right, yeah,
uh-huh.
17-ish. Wow.
and especially her, she's Mexican, so in the Mexican culture, bro, as soon as you get married, you start popping the babies
Yeah,
out.
that's yeah, exactly.
So, I
They don't
mean,
waste no time.
no, yeah. So her family was already asking, like, "Hey, where the baby? Where the baby?" I was like,
Uh-huh.
bro, y'all chill, man. We said we do it all the time.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, if you guys
so
didn't know, Striker's an honorary Spanish guy, pretty much.
Yeah,
yeah, bro.
he's in the
He's
family,
in he's in
right?
the family.
Yeah,
He's in
bro.
the so
Hey,
he's
bro.
literally every race,
Yeah, yeah.
black, white, and Hispanic,
Yeah,
dog.
man. And Japanese too. Don't forget
Yeah,
Oh
Japanese.
yeah.
that's an inside joke. They're not gonna
Inside
get
Yeah.
joke.
it.
Inside
Inside
joke.
joke, guys. Inside joke.
That's funny.
Um,
But yeah, dude, it does feel good to have somebody to be there with you and like
for
that you
sure.
can share everything with.
Yeah, it does make it a lot easier.
Yeah,
Because don't
yeah.
get me wrong,
Oh,
like when I first broke up with my baby mama, I was with the girl I'm with now, Sarah, and she wouldn't be like, oh, I don't want to hang out with, I mean, like she wouldn't be like that. I don't want to see, I want to be with you, not the kids, but it's still, it's still hard to go pick up the kids, and then the kids will be kind of sad because mom and dad aren't
Mm.
together anymore. It's kind of hard to explain. What I mean, hopefully straight, you never got to go through that. But
I
yeah,
hope not either. Yeah,
yeah,
bro.
it is kind of hard because like they're kind of young, and then both of my kids have autism, so it's kind of different to try to explain to them because when they were younger, they kind of didn't really grasp the concept of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But kind of now they understand. Um, I believe, I'm pretty sure it's probably kind of hard for them sometimes too. They don't see their mom as much. They're full time with
Yeah.
me, but
Yeah.
but I try to give them the best life they can. You know what I mean?
Obviously, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's actually excellent segue of like. So now of the talking of like being a dad, what is that like? Because obviously I'm not in that stage of my life yet, and I'm
It's
pretty sure
fucking fun, dude.
a lot of
Yeah.
reviews aren't. So like, what is that like being a dad and being the head of a family, pretty much? What is that feeling like?
It's a lot of pressure.
That was the first thing I was gonna say too, Trey. It's like,
It's a
do you
lot of
ever feel
pressure.
like do you ever feel like for me, I felt like like man, like I feel like it's so much weight sometimes on my shoulders because to
When
provide everything
yeah,
for your family, it's like
when I was with the mother of the kids, yes, because I literally had to pay almost everything by
wow.
myself. So that when that was, I did have like I'll be stressed out. I remember I was going like there'll be times that I'll get patches in my beard and at first I'm like, am I like what's going on? Did I accidentally shave wrong or something? And it'll just be like a stress patch. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Mm,
I'll get, my eye would twitch a lot, like I'll feel it in the thing, and then, you know, um, but now I'm not gonna lie, now that I have somebody, to ride or die, it's a lot easier. It's not as bad. I have a lot of people helping me out, you know, family and stuff. So it does make it a lot easier when you have somebody that's, there and willing to help and stuff like that. But before, I would say, yeah, it was really hard,
Yeah.
really, really hard. And then, yeah, I don't know. But
Like
yeah, I'm good
like
now.
yeah, like for me, I would like this job I have. Of course, people piss you off all the time, and I just be like, man, I screw this job, bro. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
quit, but I can't.
Yeah, it's not
I
like,
have,
yeah,
yeah, I
you
have
have
to
to,
like think about my kids and my
or
family that
yeah, have a
rely
plan
on me.
B at least. You can't just get
Right,
up and
right,
and
right,
drop a job. Like Brian, let's say if he's working and he's not happy with his job, he'd be like, "Fuck it, I could,
right. I'm
hang
done.
for,
Yeah,
I could, save up or, eat
Mhm.
just a bologna sandwich every day until I find another job. For me,
Mhm.
I I have to, provide for these guys, these kids.
right,
So
right.
you think twice, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like I said, if I ever want to leave my job, I would also obviously have a backup plan,
Yeah.
you know. And not
Yeah,
a lot of times there's no backup plan, dude. So you just got to write it out. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So a lot of times you just gotta fucking ride that shit out, and then eventually it smooths out. Sometimes it doesn't, but you gotta be mentally strong too.
And then too on the other aspect of it, it is being a dad is a lot of fun, bro. Like,
It is, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like seeing them, like there's times that like I said, the kids are autistic, so it was kind of hard for them to start, talking. Brian's met my kids. He's seen them
yeah,
when they were l- babies
Oh,
almost,
yeah, almost.
and then he's seen them when they're a little bit older, and like now these guys, they say things that I've never heard them say. Like their personalities are fucking so different. And like sometimes like double take. I'm like, yo, did my son just say that, or did my daughter just do this? Like my daughter's very into like anime and the Japanese culture and all that. So like, and then due to her autism, it was harder to try to teach some Spanish because every Spanish fan, oh, they don't know Spanish yet. What's going on?
Mhm.
Why
right.
don't they speak Spanish?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then help my have family members. Oh, but you know my kid does this, my kid talks, and my kid does this, and I'm like, that's great and everything, but my kids are not your kids. My kids are completely different from yours.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
when I was, when I first had the kids and we first found out like they're autistic, I didn't know anything about autism. Like I honestly think I had autism, or have it. It's once you start to learn it and see how they work, and then you kind of figure them out. It's a lot easier than to There's some kids that are nonverbal still. Luckily, my kids talk, but there's kids that don't know how to express themselves. They're nonverbal,
Yeah.
so they'll hit you to try to get your attention or to say that something's bothering them. They can't say, oh, like my daughter has a thing that if like the lining of your shirt, if the sewing's off and the little string is hanging out, she'll like you have to cut it off. If not, she's not wearing it. It's gonna bother her. So, before she didn't know how to express that, and she'll just be pulling her shirt and like going like this, and we're like, yo, what do you want? You want a
Mhm.
different shirt? And she would want to wear the shirt. It's just she just wanted the little
Thing
the
off.
the
Yeah.
little thing cut off. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
now she'll tell me, hey, daddy, cut this off, or this, and or tell me what problems she has. So it's a lot easier now. But yeah, when they were younger, my daughter was nonverbal for the first couple of years of her life, and it was kind of hard, trying to figure out what they want or what's bothering them, or they want to eat this or that. You know what I mean?
So Trace, do you think you identifying it early, I guess through doctors or whatever, did that make
Uh-huh.
it easier for y'all to
Oh no,
find
yeah,
something that
dude.
worked and to
Yeah, yeah,
help
definitely.
them?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Like, cause once they like, you could like, let's say if you believe your kid is autistic, right? That's right, you're a young kid. You could
yeah,
just tell your doctor, hey, look, I feel like she's not developing correctly. I believe she has. They'll call it Asperger's or autism, and then the doctor would be like, he'll evaluate the kid, and then he'll be like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna write a referral, take you to a specialist,
Mhm.
and then the specialist will go and determine if they believe they're autistic or not, and from there they'll provide you with like, they'll help you out with like um with whatchamacallit, forgetting the word, I don't know why.
Like the treatment or whatever that
Yeah,
they
like not really treatments, but therapy. That's the word I was
the
looking for.
therapy. Yeah, therapy. Yeah.
Therapy. They'll help you out with, they'll tell you where to go. There's OT, which is occupational therapy, which is kind of like what we take for, like what we do easily, like button up a shirt or zipper or something, or cut paper. For us it's easy, but then for them it's kind of harder to grasp.
Yeah.
Grabbing a pencil, pinching things, um, so it's a little bit different. Everybody's, that has autism is not the same. Like both of my kids are both considered autistic, but they're both very different in
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
almost everything.
Part of different spectrums of what they.
Yes, exactly. Like my son is very shy. He won't go up to you and like say hi, and he won't
Mhm.
talk, and he'll be hidden behind me if he'll go up to Brian and say hi because he knows him.
Yeah.
He'll probably be shy in the first, but once he realizes Brian, he's gonna, open up. But let's say it's to
Yeah.
you, Strike, he's right behind me. He'll probably
Yeah.
say hi from far away, but my daughter would go up to you like, oh, I love your hair. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. I
Mhm.
love your shirt. She'll always go up to you, compliment you. She'll never see. Well, she says that I got a big tummy. And then she'll lift up my shirt and smack it. And so, but most of the time, that's the only negative thing that I've seen her saying. And she doesn't say it in a negative way, so I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
really get
Right.
mad at
Yeah.
her. You know what I mean? But every time, like we go out to, she'll be like, and she'll point out stuff that you don't really know. She's like, "Oh my God," and she's like, "I love your eyelashes," or "I love the color of your nails," and stuff like that. Like my daughter's very like out there. She'll go. She's not shy at all.
Mhm.
You
Like
know what I
very
mean?
observant. It
Yeah,
sounds
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that
too.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
No,
my kids are great, dude. I wouldn't change it for the world.
no, and I agree that they're awesome.
So
I
I have a
literally
question
told
for you,
Jose
Trey.
like they're like the best. Like,
Yeah,
Trey,
yeah.
I
and
have a
then
question. Like, what would you say? Because, like, just personally, like, I have a nephew. So my oldest brother is like 13 years older than me.
mm-hmm,
And so my nephew's like Brian's age.
uh-huh.
Y'all actually played with him before. Is Keenan is his name? Or whatever.
I think yeah, a long time
I
ago.
think
A
so.
long time ago, you played with him, and he has a son that I think is he may be like somewhere on the spectrum.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just curious, what would you tell a parent that like doesn't know or that's like kind of in denial?
There's a lot of
Like, how do you
parents, honestly,
benefit
that
it?
they're scared to say that,
They are.
or they're worried that people are gonna judge them. You know
Uh-huh.
what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah,
Like they don't want to accept that they're like, don't believe me. When my daughter was like, nonverbal, she wasn't doing the things. You know how every kid has a milestone. Oh, at 6 months she should be crawling. At 8 months she should be taking her first steps and stuff like that. My daughter was missing all those. So at first it was like, oh no, it's just she's probably not doing it fast enough, or let her give her time. But then when we started seeing kids her age doing things that she couldn't even do, that's when we're like, all right, we got to check this out first. Like we got to
yeah,
see what's going on. And then yeah, what I feel like a lot of parents are like scared, especially like the Hispanic community. They don't want to
Mhm.
accept that their kids have autism, or they're not that something's wrong with them. They're just different.
Yeah.
Their brain works
yeah,
differently from ours. So like what I always say, like there's a coworker of mine that she had her daughter. She kind of, I think she was diagnosed that she was autistic, but she put her in like a private school that didn't have a program for that. Like they call it the cluster. At least in where like my school, they call it a cluster, where they put like the kids that have special needs like autism, stuff like that, in a thing, and they have specialized teachers and stuff that
Yeah, yeah.
learn how to handle with them. And she's like, oh, I don't know. And I remember she asked me once, I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. Um, the teacher's always complaining about, my daughter, that she's not paying attention, that she's like, not doing her homework, her grades are, really bad. And then I knew her daughter had autism, so I asked her, I'm like, well, is she in an autistic classroom? She's like, no, she's in a private school. And then like she was like, um, so I'm like, why don't you put her in a thing? And she's like, no, it's that the school's really good. But I'm like, obviously, it's not that the your daughter's misbehaving or not doing her work. It's that the teacher doesn't know how to handle her. She
Mhm.
doesn't know
Right.
what the steps are to do to take care of the kid or make sure she's going to do it right, or like calm her down and and stuff like that. So I told her, I'm like, look, I think you should put them like look in your and you could look online, look for a school around your area that has the program, and then try to enroll her as fast as you can. And then she eventually, like a couple months later, she told me, she's like, oh my god, I changed her schools a week later, and it's a complete 180. Like her grades are good, her like she's well behaved, and it's because people don't know how to they think they're misbehaving, or they
Yeah,
think they're being rude, or they think that they're doing this, and it's just not that. It's just that their brain works differently, and we just don't know how to handle it. Like
Yeah.
with my daughter, a lot of times, like she'll like not listen to me what I'm saying, and I have to like I in the beginning I'll get very frustrated, and I'll like raise my voice, and then from her autism, she doesn't like anything loud, like unexpected. So she'll start crying when I raise my voice. I wouldn't be even screaming. I'll just raise my voice, and she would like not like it. So then I had to like learn how to like, all right, Bella, sit down. We're gonna talk this out. You like step by step, and then eventually I learned too, like how to handle it. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Yeah.
No, no, I definitely agree with that. Just because my sister is actually she's actually one of the specialists, speech therapy. She actually does
Mm-hmm.
it. That's what she decided to do for her career, pretty
And
much.
I give it to your sister because I sat in those classes, and
Yeah,
like I sat in like with my kids when they were young, and
yeah,
it's tough, dude.
yeah.
Because especially when they're really young, it's like because the kids don't want to pay attention, they don't want to do this, they ignore you, they start screaming and jumping and going
Some hit
Yep.
nuts.
her, like she's been hit a couple
Oh
times.
no,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, it's
definitely.
hard, I, but whenever like things like that happen, it's so cool to see her, my sister, in a way because it almost like brings a joy to her. Like she
No,
loves what she does, and like she's so
uh-huh.
happy that that's what her calling is,
Yeah,
And she's going back to get her master's and stuff like that to actually become the specialist that Jose was talking about to actually
uh-huh.
like decide whether the
Yeah.
child
Is
needs
that
help and then does that. So
once you see the progress, it's fucking awesome, dude.
oh
Like,
yeah,
because like my kids were nonverbal. My son still has like not a speech delay, but it's more speech impediment. He,
Mhm.
kind of doesn't roll his R's and stuff like that. Sounds like more of like a little kid when he talks, but but now like they express themselves. They talk. My kids use chopsticks when they want to eat when they eat sushi and stuff like that. Like before, they couldn't do that. They couldn't even zip up their jacket before. They couldn't button up their polo for school.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And like seeing those little progress, like stuff like that. It's fucking badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. My sister loves it, and it's so cool because like she comes home, videos of like the kid. Oh, look at what he's doing now. And she's like so
Uh-huh.
happy,
Yeah.
like it affects her, and it's just so
No,
awesome.
yeah.
But let's maybe dive a little bit more into fatherhood in terms of obviously you've been there since the beginning, since they're small little babies, and obviously now they're like grown. Now they're in their
Hmm.
young teens and things like that. How is that process? Like, does it feel like time is going so fast, so slow?
No, it's
How has
fast,
that like
dude.
feeling been?
It's
Fast.
fast.
Yeah.
It's fast,
It's
bro.
so cliche to say, but yeah, it like goes by so quick,
No,
bro.
dude. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I was, how you get those memories on your phone about the pictures.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I see the thing. It's like, oh, 3 years ago, and I'm like, oh, 3 years ago was nothing, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I look, and my kids look completely different.
Yeah.
Like it's nuts. It's nuts, and like you're like, you like kind of don't realize, like, bro, they're growing up fast, and like yeah, it's nuts. Buying them
So yeah.
shoes every couple months because they're outgrowing their shoes
Bro,
and clothes. I'm like, bro, these aren't cheap, dog.
that's that's what I do with my oldest son. Like we'll try to buy stuff while it's on sale, so we don't have to like
Uh-huh.
buy a full price when he needs it.
Yeah.
So we'll buy him clothes, and before he can even wear some of them,
It's
he's
same.
already growing out of it. I'm like, what
No, it
the heck,
definitely say it's
bro?
happened to me. Or there's times that I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy. I know he's a size 2 right now, but I'm gonna get him a size 4 because
Right.
because it's on sale. So when you know what, and there's times that I forget that I have
Yeah.
that shirt or I have those shoes, and there's times that he has shoes that he has never worn, and they're brand new. Like I bought him some Pokemon shoes, some Pikachu shoes that he really wanted, some Pumas. He wore them twice. Never again. I remember the
Yeah.
time that he wanted to wear them, he couldn't fit. He's like, Daddy, my feet hurt. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, my bad, dude.
No, yeah.
But yeah, but yeah, it goes by quick. I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
I've never heard anybody say, oh, this is like a slow process. No, this thing goes flying.
No,
My
yeah.
daughter's 10, and I didn't really realize it until for my daughter's birthday, we went to Disney, and then how all everybody's asking, oh, how old are it's your birthday? How old are you? And then my daughter's, I'm 10 years old. And then they go, double digits? You're at double digits now? And I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, daughter's 10 years old, bro. Where does fucking time go? Like
Yeah.
double digit next year's gonna ask me, oh, can I go out with my friends to the mall? And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
what do you mean?
Like as a dad, I think you freeze them in time, like
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. You
that
still see
age
them. You
that you
still
love
see
them.
them as little kids.
Your
Mhm.
little kids, yeah, yeah, and they're growing up, yeah.
Like my the other day,
Crazy.
my kids like sushi. Like they love sushi, and I'm like, like what kind of kid likes sushi? And they grab and then my son likes the eel sauce. He's like he doesn't want it unless
Ooh,
he has the eel sauce, and I'm like,
Nah,
what the fuck?
so,
he's got
dude,
taste.
that's
Yeah.
that's my oldest son. He's like, Dad, so he starts ordering off the like adult
Oh,
menu
but
now.
yeah.
Dude, we go to Roadhouse. It's like a steakhouse here.
Uh-huh.
He's like, Dad, I want the brisket and ribs. I'm like, bro, that's like
Yeah.
$20 for the plate. You
Get
freaking kidding me,
the
bro?
kids menu. You still little. Get the kids menu, dude.
And then get the kids menu. Dad, I'm still hungry. Can I have another one? I'm like, nah, bro, you can fill up when we get home, bro. Like, nah.
No, yeah, that too. Like, my sister, when my sister takes them out, my sister's a little more on the high end side. You know what I mean? So she'll take them out to nice restaurants or like, and she's like, I remember one time she texted, she's like, bro, she's like, your kids, I don't know, I can't take them out anymore. Like, I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, they order, they eat everything. Because my kids, luckily, my kids do not like, they're not picky. I taught them to eat everything they get,
Mhm.
you know. So
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, they eat oysters, my kids like octopus, they like
Ooh,
Oh, they
all
like
the
expensive
weird
stuff,
shit.
boy.
Yeah.
wow,
They like
nice.
all of that. And she's like, look, I took them out to a restaurant that they're doing like a pre-opening, and then they ate everything, and it was like a seafood place, and like they ate everything, no complaints. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Wow, dang, that's awesome.
but no, yeah, thank God, like, because growing up too, me too, like I remember if I didn't like broccoli growing up, and I couldn't get out of that table until I fucking finished my broccoli.
So it was for me too.
Yeah, I could not get up.
Yeah,
You know what I
Uh,
mean? And I'll cry, and my mom did not
yeah,
care that I was
that's
crying.
the same thing. Dude, I remember I sat at the table all night
All
until I
night.
had to go to bed because I didn't want to eat any beets or
Yeah.
cauliflower or something like that.
No,
Yeah.
my sister one time fell asleep at the table, and she woke up, got up, and my mom was like, "Where you going? Come back. Where you going?" And she's like,
Oh,
"What?" And she's like, "Sit down. I'm gonna warm you up the plate so you can finish eating."
oh,
oh
dang.
dang.
Yeah, it was tough.
No, I
But
remember.
that taught us too, like, like there's some things that I don't like, but let's say if it's something I've never tried before, I'm like, I'm gonna try it. If I don't like it, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
like it.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
gonna try it. It's not like, oh, it's green, I don't want it, or this, I don't like it. Like my kids, same thing. Like my daughter, it's the way she tries food, it's hilarious. So it's like something that she doesn't know what it is. She just grab a spoonful and stick out her tongue and like lick it. And she go, oh, I don't like it. I'm like, Bella, try a real bite. And then you'll tell me if you don't like it or not. and then yeah, she'll eat it. Luckily I'm not like that with my kids that like I'm like, oh no, you can't get up and you don't eat. Luckily they're not
Nah.
that problematic like me when I was growing up.
But, yeah, like in our house, we try to do the same. Like, it's all right if you don't like it, but you at least have to take one
Yeah,
bite to taste it.
to try it.
And
Yeah.
if you don't like it, okay, it's fine.
Exactly. But try it at least. You can't just say you don't like it because it looks ugly.
Right,
Because I was
exactly,
the same way.
exactly.
I'm like, oh, I don't like this. 'Cause I'm like, I didn't like soup because it looked ugly and there was stuff in it that I didn't like. I'm like, and now I love fucking soup. I'd
Oh,
rather have
soup.
soup
Dude,
than
oh man, I love it. I
Classic.
made
yeah.
some beef stew. I made beef stew last night. Oh my
Uh-huh.
God, bro.
No, yeah. I'll
Yeah,
tear that
like
up.
when it's cold. Oh yeah, I'll tear it up, bro.
Oh well, I can't wait for the day when Sturgis kids are gonna have hummus with chips like him at night. So it's
Oh
like
yeah,
Yeah,
just
boy.
the cheese and chips.
cheese and
Cheese
chips.
chips, hummus and chips. You know how to do it, man.
Ooh, that's gonna be hilarious. But now, so let's move on a little bit even further. I would say you say like time is going by fast, and I would say you were there since the beginning. But now let's go maybe thinking about a little bit in the future in terms of like what's that thing or like what people maybe say legacy or something that you want to leave with them always that they're gonna have for like the rest of their life. Like what's one like what are the things that you want to share with them that they're always gonna have that always gonna be like, okay, my dad taught me that, my or to always be this way or that way. Like what are some things, values better said, that you want to like leave to your kids?
I think for me is I just want my kids to always know I've been there whenever they needed me. Like my dad was able to do that for me, and I think that's priceless. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
forget a like fund or whatever to have money for them to do whatever they want to when they get older. Like to me, that's not that important. The material stuff, like, but
Hmm.
somebody like being present. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
hey, Dad, I got this problem. Can you help me with this? Oh, hey, Dad, I don't
Yeah.
know how to do this. You want to come up? Can you show me how to? Like stuff like that when they
Yeah,
get
of
Yeah.
older.
course.
Yeah, like having somebody that's there. I think is for me is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn straight. Can you be my daddy?
I,
Well, you're already Brian's daddy, so
yeah,
it's gonna be tough.
Brian, tell him how I'm doing,
Oh,
bro.
whatever, man.
No, I would want my kids, grow up, same thing, always, know that I'm there for them, and then, just you grow up being honest and humble.
Yeah.
Nobody likes a cocky person. Um, I don't know, just be true to yourself. You don't fake it, just to show everybody that something that you don't have. Yeah, I just
You
want
know
my
that?
kids to be, themselves, not like,
Yeah,
especially with them that have the autism. Like, I remember, it'll be like the mother wouldn't want to take them out because, oh, they're gonna make noise or they're gonna be screaming. They're gonna be, my daughter makes some, she makes some not weird noises. She just, makes sounds with her mouth.
Mhm.
And like, so I never said, like, no, be quiet unless we're in somewhere that you can't be screaming or, but if we were out walking and she's, I don't mind. Like, be yourself,
Yeah.
be happy. If you're happy making those
yeah.
noises, fucking go ahead. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah,
No, I
just
like
always be
that.
yourself.
Yeah, that's what I like that too because, like, I feel like a lot of the kids today they see all of the like social media when people just posting like the highlights of their life,
Yeah. They don't see the
and
in
they like, hey,
between.
yeah, you don't see the in between when they're home chilling in their
Yeah.
sweats or whatever, and
I could be posting the highlights of my life and then people think I had a great life, but honestly, hasn't been that great. You know what I mean?
right,
You gotta
yeah,
see, you
like,
gotta do the dirty work too.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
No, yeah. It's just like interesting, because like um I'm obviously not at that step of like having my own family, but I've always did kind of when I was younger wanted to have my own family. And obviously those same values that you guys are talking about, like just being someone that you can look on like, oh, he was the best dad I could have had. Like that's the feeling I kind of want to like
Yeah,
leave with my
that's
family.
one thing I like. I didn't have a dad growing up.
Yeah.
So like you could always go two different routes. You could go the route that, oh, since I didn't have a dad, I'm gonna be, piece of shit also, or
Yeah.
go the route of, I didn't have a dad, so I want to be there for my kids. I didn't want them growing up.
Mhm.
My brother taught me how to shave. My brother taught me a lot of things that, the men that you gotta, teach your kids about, and I want to be there for my kids, teaching them, not, having to learn it on, on their own, at least guide them
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I
Do you
didn't
feel
have
like
that growing up.
do you feel like since your dad was in there for you, you feel like that you I don't want to say like missed out on stuff, but
But yeah, it could well, I did miss out on, I didn't, have the person to look up to. I did have someone to look up to. I looked up to my brother, I looked up to my sister.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
it's different when like, oh, you know, like I hear stories of my dad taking out my cousins and doing this, or going to Spain, and letting them use his car to go out and stuff like that. Like I didn't have my dad to do that. Like, what I mean? I never, and honestly, it never really bothered me. It kind of like it would bother me when other people would bring it up when I lived in Colombia, because my dad lived in Colombia too,
oh,
and
okay,
I knew my cousins, and I knew my cousins would, were closer to my dad than I was to my dad. And they would hang out with my dad. My dad would let them use their car, give them money, stuff like that. And my friends would be like, because one of my best friends was a childhood friend of my cousin's, and he's like, bro, why don't you ask your dad for his car, and or ask him to let you borrow this or give you that? I'm like, I don't want to go out and like if this guy didn't come and look for me, and I did give him
yeah,
chances to come in, like he'll come into my life and he's like, oh, I'm gonna take you out, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm like, all right. He's like, all right, I'm gonna pick you up next week, and then I'll be waiting next week. I'm like, all right, my dad's coming, and that
and he
motherfucker
never
wouldn't
did.
come. So I
Oh
just
man,
eventually just like gave up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
I tried. It's not like I said, no, dad, I don't want you in my life. You know what I mean?
right, yeah,
I tried, and he didn't put the effort in.
Right.
So I just don't want my kids growing up with, seeing like feeling like how I felt, like, having like not, my dad not be there and not trying. I want to
yeah,
be
yeah,
there, as much as I could be. A lot of times I'm working, but like always know that I'm here and like
Mhm.
right,
whatever they need.
Yeah. So it kind of shaped you into like the dad that you are now. Like it
Yeah,
kind
definitely.
of
I
definitely
chose
shaped
the
you.
route of like I want to be there for my kids, like
Yeah.
whatever whatever it could be
Yeah, for sure.
there.
No, awesome. So maybe as a closing topic, we my co-host always brings up like these interesting questions, I guess. What she calls Xerona question.
Hmm.
Let's do something with family, and I was kind of thinking of two questions specifically. What is the easiest thing to you guys in being a dad, and what is the hardest thing about being a dad? And that's gonna be a question for all of you who are watching. If you have families of your own, go ahead and put in the comments and say whatever is that for you. So we're looking forward to those questions. But let's start off with Jose, I guess, for this one. What is the easiest and hardest thing about being a dad?
The easiest I would say, like seeing them, like being like now that they're a little bit older, like my son is 9, my daughter's 10. Being like they're able to, oh, I'm gonna get a juice, like being sufficient, basically. They could do stuff on their own. I don't have to watch them for everything. I
Mhm.
don't have to be like, oh no, my daughter's in the garage, what is she doing? I feel comfortable with them, doing their own thing. I don't have to like check up on them every 5 minutes and stuff like that. um Also, yeah, I don't know, like I think that, and like just enjoying the fun with them, like, that's easy. You can't really complain about that. The hanging out with them, watching movies, stuff like that. And then the hardest thing, I don't know. I really don't know what the hardest thing, is.
I
Telling
think
them
that
telling them no.
that's Yeah, I think that into like discipline, like because
Yeah,
nobody like
I don't
the
want to be the bad guy. You know what I mean?
yeah, like
I don't want to be the douchebag telling you no, you can't do this, or you got to go to bed,
right.
and you gotta
I,
like
I yes, I hate it. Like, but I feel like I have to do it, especially with my sons. Like, because I don't want you to be this, like you said, like a douchebag kid and nobody likes and
yeah, like
nobody wants to be
be
around. And
respectful and be
right,
kind and not be the
yeah,
kid that's
yeah,
like, snatching toys out of the other kid and running
right,
away or
right.
pushing them down and running away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
teach them how
know?
to be a good human being.
Yeah,
But I think you have to discipline them in order for them to be that way, right?
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, and that's the hardest part for me. But like Tress was saying, I agree with him. The easiest part is like just having fun with your kids, like taking them outside and playing catch or at the
Yeah,
park playing with
the
them, all
small
that
things.
kind of
It's the
stuff.
small things that honestly
Yeah,
that it like it's fun and pretty easy because it
Yeah.
gets you happy. It gets them happy from there's times that like when I watch my soccer games like in the morning, my kid's right there. My son, my daughter, she don't care about watching soccer, but my son, he's right next to me, jumping, flapping his arms. So he's excited that somebody scored a goal. You know what I mean? I'm like, no. At
yeah,
first,
that's fun.
I would have to tell him, Jose, don't celebrate for them. That's not the team we want to win. But now he's got like I'm turning him into a Manchester United fan. I feel bad for him,
Oh,
but
Oh yeah.
yes,
poor
I
kid.
feel so bad.
He's
So
setting
bad
that
for
little
him.
man, setting that little man up for disappointment in his
yeah,
life, bro.
exactly, exactly. I feel bad for him, but I love it when like he knows who's playing, like they're
Oh, that's
playing.
cool.
I
Yeah.
think it's awesome. And
Yeah, that's
like
pretty cool.
normally he used to be like, all right, he'll watch for a little bit and then he'll go on like play his games or YouTube and stuff like that. But the other day we watched the full game. He was right there, right beside me. So I can't wait to get old when he gets a little bit older and
To the
like take him
actual
to the
game.
soccer games. We
Yeah.
took him to we took him to the Inter Miami game a couple months ago, and obviously that was before the Messi thing,
Mhm.
so it was a lot easier to take them. They loved it. They had a great time. Like my after that, my kids were like, "Oh, I want to go again," and I'm like, "You know what? Let's do it. I don't mind doing it at least once a month or once every couple months." But then after a week after we went to the game, that's when the Messi got announced, and the tickets they skyrocketed.
Skyrocket.
Now I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna go broke if
Oh
I buy
man.
6 tickets.
Oh my God, bro. You spend a couple G's then,
Yeah,
won't you?
no, yeah, dude, it's
Couple.
crazy.
Woo-wee. Yeah.
It's crazy. So now I'm like, I gotta find. We tried to do a baseball. They didn't really care about baseball. They were not interested in at all.
Yeah.
I remember we went to the Marlins game. They're more excited to try to get on the jumbotron than actually watching the game.
Uh,
But with the soccer game, they had a lot of fun. They were like, they were like stomping their feet. They were doing the wave. That my daughter was
Mhm.
dancing up and down the aisle. Um, it was a blast, dude. Honestly, so I enjoy that. Like, taking them out to the a game or something and let them be them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Not be like, oh no, sit down. You can't act like that here. It was
Yeah.
fun just letting them go all out. I didn't give three fucks. Who else cared? And most of the time, like the people behind us were having fun too, watching my daughter, dance and do her silly
yeah,
dance moves and stuff like that.
that's cute, man. You see
Yeah,
little kids doing like,
yeah,
yeah, let
it
them
Yeah.
was
fun,
fun,
bro.
and
Let them
she
be
she
themselves.
her rhythm is pretty bad, dude. So, but it's awesome. It's awesome seeing her dance. I love it
She
because
got
she put
that.
so much. She got
You got
she
that
got my
from
moves.
Jose.
Yeah, she got my moves, and
She
it's bad.
goes,
She got my moves. I feel bad, but yeah, no, like it's fun just seeing them, have fun and be themselves.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Last question, guys. This one's more about you guys. So this one is:
I'm taken.
have
Sorry,
there?
Ryan.
Oh gosh. Okay. Uh, this one is more about: was there ever a time that was like really, really tough for you in terms of either it was difficult or things went through your mind that was like, man, this is a lot harder, a lot tougher than I would have thought. Like, did those thoughts ever come to you? And if they did, like, what were like things that you're going through that were kind of like going through that? But then as time went on, obviously you learn to get through it, and you're here now, and so happy you did. have your kids with you the whole time. But was there ever that hard time for you? Is pretty much what I'm going.
Trey, you go first. I went first
Oh,
last
okay.
time.
Yeah. I kind of told y'all a little bit. Like when I was going through that stuff, my mom was sick with cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty tough, bro. Like seeing somebody you love suffer like that,
Yeah,
and
your
then she
morale
died.
and
Yeah. And she died eventually. So seeing my dad sad and seeing all my family, and then and I didn't know it back, but I know looking at it now that I was depressed back then. I just sat at home, and that's when actually I started gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want to go out with my friends. I didn't want to do. I just stayed at home and I just played.
mhm.
I just played games online all the
And then
time.
you
So
found us, huh? Look at that. So it wasn't so bad.
Wasn't so bad.
yeah,
It wasn't so bad
yeah.
after all.
I used to
No.
um I used to play Halo all the time online, and then
Mm,
I started
classic.
one of my friends, Mexican dude. He he played he was we were like friends every growing up, and he played FIFA, and I just went over his house one day. He's super chill dude. And he's like, "Hey man, let's play some FIFA." I was like, "I don't know nothing about soccer, bro." And he's explained everything to me. And then after that, because he talked so much trash to me, I was like,
Yeah, you
"I'm
had to
buying
learn.
this game
Yeah,
and I'm
you
gonna
had
beat him, bro."
yeah.
And
That's
ever
when you're a
since
true
then,
gamer when you're like, fuck it, dude. I'm gonna
yeah,
fucking just to beat him, dude. I just wanna
yeah. And so I did, and I beat him, and then I just never stopped playing it. Then after that, and that's when I met y'all. Like after
you see, so
that,
it
yeah,
wasn't so bad after all. That's right.
yeah, man.
No, I
Turned
would
out to be
say
good.
my hardest times would because I had my kids almost a year and a half apart. So like trying to pay, diapers and stuff like that, like financially, that was really tough. Like I was really stressed out in that. And I always try to see the positive side, and things like even when it's shit, I'm like, hey, look, it could always be worse. I could be
Mm,
homeless, I could have no job, I could have this. So I always try to like, be more positive about it. But eventually, it all worked out. Everything happens for a reason. You struggle to learn, the good you got.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that was the hardest time for me, honestly. And like mentally, dude, that takes a toll because when you don't know how to pay your bills the next month or the next week, and you have nothing, you can't do anything, and you just got to be strong because you're the head of the household, and you got to not prove, but you got to make it happen. You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
Yeah.
yeah. That's like around the time with my mom, and that's when I was going through my financial stuff too. That
Uh-huh.
like anything, and but I agree with you, Trish. Like it just makes you stronger and makes you like it
Appreciate
makes
more
you makes you
things more.
appreciate it. Yeah. It
When
makes
you
you
don't
look
like
good.
right now, like I'm not that I'm like living the life, but I am happy with my life. I'm
Yeah,
comfortable. I'm happy. I got great friends, a great partner, a great family. I wouldn't change it for the world, honestly.
right.
And
I
then
feel
like
the same way.
honest,
Yeah,
and like if I didn't struggle back then, I wouldn't be the person I am
Here
now.
now. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would probably be way different.
Hmm. No, so there you have it, guys. A little bit about them.
What about you,
Obviously,
Brian?
what about
We
me?
never. Yeah. What about you? Come on, let's tell you what's your hardest thing for you. You're the guy asking all the questions. We're
The
yeah.
flipping
hardest
the
thing for me,
switch.
I guess nowadays, uh,
Well, bruh, I think the hardest part is having a
um,
baby carrot, bruh.
this guy.
No, Dad. You know what?
They're
The
messing with me
hardest
because
part?
I used to when we played games when I was younger, I used to be quite squeaky with my voice, and I
Yeah,
used to
man.
make a lot of
What
things.
I hate about this, man, the hardest part for me is knowing that these two guys right next to me are way better than me in FIFA.
One of these things.
I'm sorry.
All right,
Not
all right.
really.
Nah. This is like,
Uh, no, it's
no,
all
but
done. Yeah.
No,
uh,
no, but yeah, for real, Brian. What is the like hardest?
I mean, to be honest, I think there was a couple things, like growing up in terms of being the oldest. I guess in my family, I always felt like I needed to kind of like what some of you said is like prove them yourselves a little bit. When I was younger, my sister was always the really bright one and really like doing things. So I guess it was tough for me to really, in that beginning stage, kind of like try to, do one up in terms of like, okay, I gotta prove myself in this and that. And so I guess at the beginning, like I kind of grew not resentment, but it felt like I wasn't being the big brother I should or the son
Yeah,
I
you
should
weren't
and
like,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
so
not
You
about
felt
like it's not about one up and like
no, no,
but
yeah, yeah.
obviously you're younger, so you thought I had to do or like
I had
no.
to become more
Yeah.
this, like do more.
Uh-huh.
That
like
feeling felt more.
Brian, did you feel like you were being overshadowed by your sister?
Um, I don't know if about overshadowed, but it always felt like in terms of when people always asked, it felt like maybe I was being a little bit overshadowed from parents. Like they were always ones to be like, "Oh, Michelle's doing this and that," while I was
Uh,
maybe a little bit in the back. And I guess that hurt for a while, but then as time went on, I kind of like figured like just that feeling was like wrong in a lot of ways, and I didn't really feel that. Like I guess it was just like an emotion coming at that time.
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of like grew
obviously,
out of it. Yeah, I
yeah,
was
you're
like,
younger, you think,
yeah,
when you get older, you realize it's not so serious.
yeah. And then I guess another thing that helped out so much is I have a close relationship with my sister. We're so close, and I was always there for her, and there was never that aspect to her at all. We were
Hmm.
always like equal, always respected, and we cared about each other. I mean, in terms of being close, I think me and my sister are like one of the closest, parents out there. So as time went on, I kind of like grew out of that, and then I don't know, university is all fine, but then I guess nowadays it's more like it feels like time is going by so quickly now, where it's like year after year is passing, and like working and doing all these things, super excited traveling. But at some point, like I'm getting to a point where I'm enjoying all these opportunities, all these things, but I do kind of like imagine like a future where you like kind of like you guys have your own family and such. I guess there's always that thing of like, hmm, I, lonely is a bit wrong word because like I'm enjoying myself time alone and doing all that, but I feel like it would be so nice to have someone around like you guys found.
Yeah, to have
yeah,
somebody
So
by your side,
yeah,
ride or
yeah.
yeah,
die.
and
No.
that's a normal
Oh, for
like
sure, yeah,
thing to have, right? Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell
yeah,
you one thing, Brian, don't force it. Just,
Mm,
not that it'll come to you, but you'll get that when you least expect it. You know what I mean?
for sure, for
Like
sure.
you said, like Striker, he was, had nothing and she saw him for who he was instead of you would think that like, oh no, I need to have my life in order. I have to have
Mm,
this in order to find the person
right,
that I want. And it's not that. It's just, enjoy life and then somebody would see that the beauty in you. You know what I mean?
for sure.
Like just like you enjoy it or like the person you are, and then they'll appreciate you instead of the physical things or the material things.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
no, yeah.
I think yeah, that's my advice.
For sure. No, and definitely thinking about it, yeah, like, yeah, you guys are totally right about that. Like, it's gonna come when, like, it's gonna come. Like,
It's gonna, bro.
yeah,
It's a believe it's gonna come when you least expect it. Because I'm
yeah,
telling you, me with Sarah, I wasn't expecting, meeting the person, I want to marry
yeah,
when like my life was literally in shambles.
yeah,
Like I'm living in efficiency with, just my kids away from me. I couldn't see them, like being fucking, angry about that, still having to pay bills and stuff like that, that I wasn't a place that I wasn't staying. And on top of that, paying the stuff I had. And you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't think I never thought I was gonna meet, somebody that I truly love and all that at that moment, but she fucking popped up out of nowhere and be like, hey motherfucker.
yeah. No, yeah. I guess that's like the only thing because like to be honest, everything else has been good. Family, friends, and that's kind of like the last thing I definitely want to like leave on the podcast is talk about you guys specifically, from my perspective, because obviously you shared about yourselves, but talk about more about me. Oh yeah, it was about almost 10 years ago. Quite younger. I was like starting university maybe. was I think back then I was a lot more to myself in terms of kind of like you guys, more shy. Didn't really like put myself out there too much in terms of like maybe at school and things like that. So I tended to be more to myself, do things more alone, reading books, gaming, music, things like that. Um, and then I think I met Jose first. I think I
I
met
think
him
you did.
first. Yeah, yeah, I think so. And then we hopped into like a random game with Fernando, I think was the one that
Hmm.
got
No,
us.
I think Fernando brought you in
Yeah, yeah. Fernando brought
because
Striking in, right? That's what.
I don't remember. I don't remember. I just remember it was around the same time both of you guys came in.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was
It
around
was around the
almost
same.
like a week or two difference
Yeah,
that you guys came in, and we like it used to be like what, five of us, six of us that would always play together every
five
day,
or six.
and then like trickled down to us three,
Yeah.
honestly. And so
Yeah,
there's times that I don't play as much as obviously because I have a lot going on in my life, but I try to get on as much. And like honestly, you both of you guys, we went through a lot of shit together. You know what I mean? You guys
And
helped me out in a lot.
had our
Being
therapy
there.
sessions every night online, pretty
Yeah.
much.
No, but no, honestly, that helped out. That helped me out a lot.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Coming
for sure.
home and hanging out with you guys, talking shit, because that's all we do. Honestly, we talk shit to each other, make fun of each
Yeah.
other. But it made it fun. Made look forward to coming home to a shitty life and
Yeah.
coming home and just hanging out with you guys, even though it was just playing online. And I think out of five of us, I got to meet I met Brian. I met Mike,
Mike.
Dominican Mike, and I met Shadow,
Mm, yeah,
David.
David.
And the only person that's on my shit list right now is on strike. So yeah, but we have to go to Texas to go to.
We have to. We have to go.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll be vacationing and like it was when I first met y'all actually.
Yeah, you went to
Um,
Disney, didn't you?
I went to Destin, Florida. I know it's still a
Ah,
long way away from me,
um,
but I went to Destin, Florida, and
And
but
did
I
all
didn't know
what
y'all like. It wasn't like, hey, bro, hey, we just were playing and
yeah, it was
talking
like
yeah,
shit
at
a
that
little
time,
bit.
yeah, it wasn't.
if you would have told me, hey dude, I'm in Destin, Florida, you want to hang out? I'm like, dude, I'm getting murdered if I go over there, dude. This guy with a deep ass voice telling me to go over there to Destin, Florida. Hell to the no. I ain't going.
Yeah,
Oh
And
like
I'll
we
have
man,
this
wasn't at
Brian.
that
Hey,
level.
man, come on, let's do it, man. This guy's cool.
Come on, man. Let's
Do
go,
it,
man.
man.
yeah, you guys are the worst. Yeah, nah, but
No, yeah, we
no, for
weren't at that
real.
level back then. Yeah, yeah. So that's why I never said nothing about it.
No, yeah, no, but for real, like, dude, I think yeah, 17, 16,
Yeah,
something,
you,
maybe
yeah, you're like, I think like 17. I remember
something like that.
Yeah,
because
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm playing with a fucking kid right now, though. That's fucking annoying.
That's but the thing was he was never like one of those annoying yappy kids. He was always like really quiet. So I was
Yeah,
like,
he
all
would.
right,
Yeah,
cool.
you could hear him turn his mic on. He'd be like,
Go, guys. Let's get it.
let's get it.
That's bull dry.
Oh yeah, 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 I remember that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
like I
man.
said, I was quite like quiet, but
yeah. But
as like
eventually
time went
he
on,
opened. Yeah,
man,
he opened. Yeah.
You
yeah,
opened up
like
a lot.
Now
Yeah,
you
yeah,
curse a lot. I would say that's
yeah.
Trevor's
all
fault.
gaming.
He went to the school of
Jose.
with Trey.
Tress. Yeah.
Freaking I was like, man, I don't realize who is this? This Trez or this Brian now? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, dude. It's hilarious. I
Oh,
love
man.
it.
That man knows every profanity that you
I,
ever
I love
Oh,
in this
whatever.
language.
I love the monster that I created.
Oh man. Nah, but
Man.
no, seriously, like at the end of the day, man, like I think it was a blessing during that time because
Oh no, yeah,
like at the
definitely.
beginning, obviously, like when you meet people just gaming, it's like whatever, but like I do, we would play at night and just like it would just be us. Like and then as years went by, I was like, man, these people are like some of the closest people I'm like close with, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But then that's when I was like,
Yeah.
yo, I have to go see Jose. And then I learned Jose was like in Miami. So I went to Miami, saw him a couple times,
Yeah, I came up once.
came up, went to
Yeah, I saw you once, and then the other time we missed each other.
Yeah.
because
And
somebody
then
was in
he's
the
coming up
beach.
actually soon, the 7th. He said. Or something.
No, I had to cancel. I forgot to
Oh,
tell you.
but
No, yeah, the Sarah couldn't go, so then my son, and that's when this is a funny story because not funny. I feel good about it because so we're gonna go to Legoland for his birthday, and then my girl couldn't go, so she went up to him. She's like, "Hey, what do you want for your birthday? Because I can't make it." And then he just started crying, and he's like, "No," he started crying, and then she told me she's like, "Oh, I felt so bad." I started crying. And then so I'm like, you know what? Like, let me ask him. He's a grown kid now. Like, he's big. He could answer for himself now. I asked him, hey, I know you don't. I know Sarah can't go. What do you rather do? Would you rather wait until she goes? I mean, wait until she like could go. That's probably like later on, or would you want to go that week anyways? And he's like, without skipping a beat, he's like, I want to wait. I'll wait for Sarah, and that's why I'm like, yeah. That's when I raised a fucking good kid. Because
Right,
like
yeah,
me, if it was me at 9 years old, I'm like, fuck this
we're
bitch,
going.
dog. We
Yeah.
out. Who? Sarah? Who? You know what I mean?
yeah,
But no, I felt good about that. I'm like, yeah, that's when I know I'm raising, good people,
yeah.
good little people.
Good little people.
Yeah. So
Nah.
yeah, so I'm probably gonna go like around January. Still
Okay.
going.
No, let me know, bro.
Yeah.
I'll probably be around. But nah, like for like guys, like no matter like YouTube people, no matter where you're like meet people and stuff like that, man. At the end of the day, if there are people that like care about you and like worry about you and are there for you during like hard times, good times, everything, man, those are people that you want to have around. And to be
Yeah.
honest
Oh
with
yeah.
you, I consider these two people here next to me like just people that I want to have friends for like the rest of my life, man.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you gonna make me start crying, bro. Let me drop down there,
This
I'll
guy.
bro.
say I'll say we'll be the best man at his wedding. We'll have to fight for the best man
Oh,
at
you
his
guys
wedding,
definitely
but
have
this
to be
motherfucker's
there.
already
There's no way you guys are
Strike
not
is
gonna
already
be there. There's
Strike is
no
already
way.
married, so we can't do that.
Oh
When
yeah,
when you renew your vows, you know we're there.
yeah.
Yeah, boy.
For sure. Nah, but nah, like for real. I always say they're so much older than me, 1700s guys, but nah, but like I consider them like older brothers, literally like older brothers that I respect so much. And
Oh
obviously they
man.
share so much, things like family life and how they are, how they're feeling, things like that. That helped me a lot, especially during that time where I was mostly alone and dealing with a lot of things. So hearing them out really helped me kind of grow and kind of figure things out on my own a little bit. So uh, I just wanted to say I appreciate you to always say you guys always know I'm always going to be around. Um, and
No, I
like I
appreciate you
said,
guys.
definitely whenever good things happen in my life, you guys are definitely going to be there. Have to be there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nah, like I said, thank you so much for coming on, joining, speaking your mind, telling us about how you felt, the things,
No,
everything.
this was actually not that bad. I thought it was gonna go a lot worse, honestly. In my head, it was
I
going
did
Oh,
too.
this
really
guy.
bad.
I
Oh,
thought
this guy.
like when you asked me to do it, I was like, bro, I don't want to do all of this, bro.
I
Like
thought Striker was gonna end up with his shirt off or something, dog.
it ain't over. It ain't over yet, baby. We still got time.
Cut it, cut it,
Oh
cut it,
man.
Brian, cut it.
It turned,
Cancel, yo. Cancel.
it turned out pretty good. Yeah, yeah.
No, yeah, it
Oh,
was fun. I'm not gonna lie. Like I
oh,
said,
Yeah.
I'm like I always remember. I brought this up to Brian. I'm like, Brian, I think we should do a podcast, but I don't think it's gonna be on YouTube, bro, because we're gonna get demonetized. Because this is kind of like the PG version of us, honestly.
it
Because
is really, really low of us for sure.
this is definitely PG, family friendly
I
version.
think this is a different, well,
This is the
obviously, because
Disney version.
it's a different kind of podcast. But no, yeah, I've always told Tress like I think it would be so much fun to have our own thing.
Yeah,
We talk about our own things and sports or gaming and
not
such. I
talk
think,
about. We're gonna talk shit
yeah,
about
That
anything
it'd
and
be
everything
creative.
we do. That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
we're do. That's what we're good at.
Yeah, very
That's
much.
that's
Nah,
the
but
funnest part of it all. Yeah.
No,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe one day in the future we'll think about that. I
Hey,
think
yeah.
that'd
You
be
never
super
know.
fun.
Let's
Yeah.
see how this turns out, and then we'll go from there.
True. Yeah, if you guys are interested in maybe a different podcast where we talk
Yeah,
about different things, I think it'd be super, super fun.
we'll talk about how bad Brian is at FIFA.
Well,
That'll be
we could do
fun
like
because that's like we have like a
20
long
episodes
list. Yeah,
on that.
that'll be season one.
Oh
That'll
man,
be that'll be season
Season
one
one.
only,
That'll
dude.
be the
dude,
whole
we can
season.
go back to like the memories, man. Of remember who was it? Um, was it you or was it you, Strike or Tress that were like, "Oh, I'm in the middle, pass the ball," and it went literally right out of bounds, and we just started
That
cracking.
was Strike. That was definitely Striker.
Yeah, Strike, I'm in the middle. Strike, I'm in the middle. Crosses the ball and it's nowhere near. Went straight out of bounds, and we just started dying. Yeah.
As you remember, Brian used to say, "Got it,"
Oh
and
yeah,
miss
got
it
it.
every time.
Yeah.
This,
When I thought
this,
I was gonna make it, I always used to
this
say,
guy would say it before he would shoot it.
Yeah.
Got in, and they would go way over the crossbar. Every time he would say it, that was the times he's missing it.
Oh man,
that's true.
hilarious.
That was funny. Or remember the time when Striker his controller was broken and he would do the backward crosses and pass it all the way back to the defenders.
No,
Oh yeah, my controller's broken. It's
or
broken.
me and
Yeah,
Strike
I
would
forgot
play
about
it.
that.
Me and Strike played with a guy, and he would shoot the ball and he would miss, or like it hit the goalkeeper, and he would be like, "Yo, FIFA glitched me, man.
Yeah.
FIFA glitched me."
Who was that?
It was just some random guy.
I don't remember his name.
No, I remember that. No,
Yeah.
and you remember the time that we had what was this guy? Skitch?
Yeah,
And Brian
And
got tired of him.
I did.
Brian got tired of him because he was very selfish with the ball. He was very unsportsmanlike with not sharing the ball, and we're all about passing. We're all
and
about
not playing his
everybody.
position.
Yeah,
He
and
never played his
exactly, he
position.
never played his position. And we're not about like showing and like doing skill moves, and we're more about being
Team. It's a team. It's a good team.
passing, and this guy would never pass it, and he would always try to score the goal by himself. And Brian had the bright idea of getting mad and muting him. And Brian thought that he had muted himself from him, but he just muted him, like the kid from hearing Brian. And so what ended up happening is that Brian just started going off on him.
He doesn't pass the ball.
He was saying a lot.
It
was so what Brian's saying now. It's like 10 times worse. What he was actually saying.
Whatever.
It was bad. Nah, man, this kid. He didn't. I don't think that was the time when he was saying curse words. Still, he still wasn't saying. So he's like, man, F this kid, man. He said a whole bunch of things, and then the kid ended up hearing everything he was saying because
everything.
he had heard everything.
Oh my god!
And so we're like, hey, Brian, you know he could hear you, right? And then the kid just leaves.
Just left the club.
He just left and never came back. We never saw him ever again. And that's Brian's fault.
But how okay to all of the people looking at your podcast, Brian, like Brian is online, he cuts people out so quick, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You don't play with him for like a week or 2 weeks.
You're done. You're not my
you.
friend anymore. Don't look at me.
I'm someone that like, yo, if we're playing games online and we don't like play every now and then, like, yo, like, we're not
I don't know you anymore.
Yeah,
Whatever.
man,
That was so last week because I don't know you anymore.
Nah, yeah. I used to,
But no, that was fun times. And honestly, Brian kind of did us a favor because none of us stepped up and said, "Hey, bro."
Yo, none of them are limited. They would talk so much junk,
and it was and it wasn't.
But
just
they
us
would
three.
never be the ones to do anything.
Yeah, and it wasn't just us three. It was that was when we played like I think it was like 8 of us on a team at one point.
And, certain, right?
Fernando. It was Fernando. Certain. That's when Shadow played with us.
Shadow.
It was Dominican Mike. It was Fast, and Marcus. That was when we had a lot of people on our team, and that was Brian. So Brian did do us a favor and get that kid off because none of us like playing with him.
Well, I think we all just too nice and didn't want to tell him.
Yeah, we're just too nice to be like, hey, bro, you suck. You're not cutting it.
I don't know about you suck, but like your style was just not.
No, it's just not the way we play.
It just
the way we like to play
the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So let us know in the comments. Let us know if that'll be something maybe you look forward to, like maybe having a separate podcast of us three and us talking a bunch of trash and jump to each other like we always do. We pretty much always do it.
We do that almost every night.
Literally.
Yeah. Bro, you could make this into like clickbait. Stripper visits podcast and do like some picture and then everybody would click on it, bro.
Picture of Striker. Because they wouldn't believe me.
Nobody-
or just put Striker with his boat shoes on there.
I forgot about that.
For everybody, freaking, I have one picture on Facebook that I put up years ago. And they saw the picture and now they talking about me wearing boat shoes all the time. What?
That's hilarious, man.
That was funny. That was we didn't live it down for a couple years. We would say it almost every time.
It went on for a while. Yeah, bro.
It did.
It went on for a while.
Yeah. No, but for sure. But let us know. Obviously, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of the podcast. It was super fun for me getting to know these guys a little bit more about them. But hopefully you enjoyed, the actual big topics of family, being a dad, growing up, and all these different things that, a lot of us have, and maybe even surprised to see like, that's something like that happened to me. Like I thought the same way or something like that.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, a lot of people think that it's only happening to them.
Yeah,
and that this is like a one in a lifetime thing that doesn't happen to anybody else. But no, a lot of times it's happened to a lot of us, and
Oh yeah, so I think that's why we decided to make the podcast, is to share these stories that are so important, not only to us, but like share them for everyone else that might be going through it. Obviously there could be new dads watching this and they're like, oh man, what am I gonna, be expecting or worrying about? So definitely wanted to like reach out to that and explain like adulthood, just growing up and going through university, school, and marriage, family, going on through all that. I think it's so important to share. So hopefully you guys like it. Obviously, if you do, subscribe, hit like for more videos. Obviously, comment for the questions that we ask. Love to hear from all of you guys. And then obviously hit the bell icon when all new videos come out. Have one every week, so super fun. Talk about so many different things. I mean, last week it was about aliens and stuff like that with my co-host, and now
aliens. I like
gaming.
Aliens. We
should probably be on that one, but no,
yeah,
definitely.
We have a good friend that's an alien. Look at Trey.
Damn, bro, my dad.
Damn. No, but no. So that. Oh, and let us know if you want them to like be back. Love to have like another episode with them and like talk about anything. That episode I think would be more fun because I'll ask you guys maybe what you guys want to talk about. I think that'll be a lot of fun.
I already have an idea. Let's just talk shit about Brian for a whole 2 hours.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
Do that.
Actually, I don't think that'd be a bad idea. Like, because I shared a little bit like myself, but I'm actually really curious about future episodes of like people coming in and like that are my friends and like talking about like when they first met me to how I am and things like that. Because I think that's kind of interesting to see like how people view me in a lot of different ways. So I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we can definitely do that and talk about whatever else. I think that would be super fun. But no, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was super fun. Thank you both for seriously coming. It was super fun, super enjoyable. Hopefully we can do this again. But yeah, if you guys liked it, definitely watch for more episodes. Definitely be a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, this is us signing off. I'm
way past my bedtime,
Brian,
honestly.
And it's super late, by the way. We did it kind of late, but no. But
it's Striker's fault.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Pretty much is. But
in closing before y'all go, Brian. Oh yeah.
No. You cut that off.
I'm gonna have to delete that part. What are you doing, man? That's something. Actually, whatever. That doesn't matter. That used to be like a thing.
Oh yeah.
So notorious for at the end of like playing every time. I don't know why. Boys are just gonna be boys. Guys are gonna be guys.
Oh man.
That's a sign-off call now.
Oh
You have to do
no,
it
let's
every.
not do
I'm
that.
gonna watch the every
Come on,
podcast
three.
and wait until you
On
say
three,
it
Brian.
Huh?
on
One,
three.
on three.
Nah,
One,
One,
two, three.
three.
no.
Come on, we all said it. We all did it already. Oh man.
Oh, you guys are crazy. Good but all right. See you guys. Thank you for
All right.
watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Watch more. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.